Morning, Skippy. Welcome in. Let's get this camera to go up a little bit here. Up, up, up. Come on, Cam. Come on. All right, well, that's good enough. I feel like people probably think I'm weird when I put my hand up all randomly. All right, so I let my kids stay home today from school just to get another day with them, and I freaking forgot. I forgot it was Monday. I was like, oh shit, I gotta get on stream. All right, so what's crazy to me is it's evident that we put someone into power in Iran. Just by the way the news is talking, like the title right here, breaking, Trump says new Iranian leadership is ready to talk, blah 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 blah. New Iranian dude, it's been 2 days. How do we know who's in power? Who'd they put in power? They obviously had a preemptive decision that they made. And it's like how is there new people in power? So we're gonna get in this, and then Vahala VFT is gonna break down some stuff about the Charlie Kirk case. So we're at 10,651 subs. So everybody sub up. Everybody that's new to the stream, make sure you hit the subscribe button, join the family, show some love and support. I appreciate every single person that comes in and supports the channel every single day. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button with notification bell. Become a member, hit the join button. Become a See Me Now soldier, show some love and support. Appreciate all the members out there. Shout out the members. Jay, Natalie, everybody else who's a member. Some of you guys are moderators, and I can't tell if you're still members or not, but we're here. So let's see what this has to say while I get my goal ready quick.
News alert on Americans in the battlefield. U.S. Central Command confirms that 3 American service members have died in action, and 5 others are seriously wounded as part of Operation Epic Fury. We do not know where those casualties occurred. However, we do know that U.S. bases in Iraq have come under attack by Islamic militia now. Those militia that are aligned with Iran. Those are the ones that they fund and purpose at their will, that regime. The president launched the major offensive against Iran's terrorist regime early yesterday morning. Israel today continues to go after strategic sites deep inside Iran, dubbing its military offensive Operation Roaring Lion. This is a special Sunday edition of the Faulkner Focus. I'm Harris Faulkner.
What a name, dude! And her show, her name's Faulkner, and her show is called Faulkner Focus. Sounds like fucker focus. Oh, I'm bad, I know.
Those are U.S. missiles launched in the opening phase of the operation. Israeli officials confirm strikes have killed more than 40 senior Iranian commanders since the operations began, which includes the top Revolutionary Guard leadership and Iran's defense minister. A huge development now, coming together in just the last bit. Iranian state media confirming Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed. Now, we knew that yesterday. Fox confirmed, the president talked about it, and now wide media. And Fox can also confirm that the CIA provided Israel with the intelligence to conduct that strike on Khomeini's compound. President Trump is calling it justice for the people of Iran. And speaking to one outlet this morning, the president said the nation's potential new leadership.
Morning, Stacy. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you guys are having a good day. Make sure you guys like up the stream, show some love and support, hit the subscribe button. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Hope you're having a good morning, Stacy.
Quote, want to talk, and I have agreed to talk, so I will be talking to them. They should have done it sooner. They should have given.
Shout out to Stacy for being a member as well.
Given what was very practical and easy to do sooner. They waited too long. End of quote from President Trump. Iran's exiled crown prince shared his thoughts on the future of his country.
There's no question that this is the game changer we've been waiting for all this time. This is like full decapitation of the regime, and ultimately what will expedite its total collapse. The Iranian people has suffered too much to settle for anything less than that.
Well, while Iran's leadership is calling for revenge, citizens are in the streets, really all over the world, wherever they live, including the United States. You're taking a look now. This is Berlin, Germany. Streets are cheering the killings of the top regime officials who have been oppressors of the people for decades. The regime projecting strength while citizens have toiled under miserable economic conditions.
I had a good weekend. It was blessed. Yesterday, I took the kids to an indoor park, and we played for a little bit. I won them a big Pokemon teddy bear thing, and it was pretty fun. I love doing that stuff. Then we got to do it more. We're going to go bowling next time. It was a good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend, too. I hope everybody else that's coming in here that's new to the channel had a good weekend. God bless you guys. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button with the notification bell and double tap that screen. Show some love and support. And, yeah, God bless you guys, man. Happy Monday.
And political and social repression and death. You know about all those protesters just in the last few weeks. An estimated 30,000 people targeted by their own government. That government now, big pieces of it.
I'm sorry, and like if this is true, right? My condolences to these people, obviously, you know. But how did they kill 30,000 people? I would really like to know. Okay? Because at the end of the day, that's a lot of people. And I just want to make sure that I'm not being propagandized, right? Welcome in, Road.
Are gone. We have Fox team coverage. Lieutenant Colonel Darren Gobb is coming up in focus. And Trey Yingst is on the ground in Tel Aviv, where air defenses continue to intercept Iranian missiles. Let's begin with Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin in Washington. Jennifer.
Harris, as you mentioned, CENTCOM has confirmed that 3 American service.
Yeah, that's what Elia does. She gets that little thing that you put the bowling ball on and slide it down. We're gonna go with my mom next time though. Her birthday's coming up, so I was gonna rent out the place, but what they charge for what they have is like not acceptable to me. So yeah, not happening. This was them yesterday. I don't know if you can see this. Let's see. Well, I can just airdrop it, right? Sorry, give me 1 second.
Service members were killed and 5 were seriously wounded in a missile strike. We're told other Americans sustained shrapnel injuries and suffered concussions. These are the first casualties of the war the U.S. and Israel have launched against Iran. CENTCOM would not say which U.S. base the missile strike targeted, while family notifications continue. We also can now report that 4 B-2 bombers flew from their home base of Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri on a round trip to Iran and are now safely home. A senior U.S.
Oh my God, look at that jet. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do that. Look at this is them yesterday on the slide. They're so darn cute. Aubrey with her blue lips. she's got blue lips on her face right here. Can I zoom in, please? Look at her. She's so cute. I just love my kids, man. They're my everything. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. God bless you guys.
defense official told me they dropped dozens.
Hey guys, today let's really try to hit the mark. So within the first 60 minutes of every stream, we always try and hit 100 likes. So everybody that's getting in here, make sure you like the stream, show some love and support, share the stream, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. All you gotta do is double tap your screen. If the double tap doesn't like the stream, then just hit the 3 dots in the top right corner and like it that way. But show some love and support. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Let's try and hit 100 likes within the first hour. We have 48 minutes left. Aubrey's my twin. I know she is. She is literally my little twin. And she looks just like my mom did as a kid too. But she's definitely my twin when it comes to having to wear glasses and all this other stuff. My twin, 100%.
Dozens of 2,000-pound penetrator bombs on Iranian ballistic missile sites that are hidden underground. The Iranians have mobile missile launchers that can be rolled out of caves and then pushed back into a protective bunker. They may have fewer of those launchers today, however. The Iranian strategy seems to be to escalate to de-escalate. The Iranians have fired 135 missiles and 209 drones at...
Sorry, I just got to show you a video real quick of my kids. This is my little girl literally beat her older sister yesterday in air hockey. It was so funny. And you got air hockey game between Alaya Kanya and between her sister, Miss Aubriella. There we go. The score is 6-2. Oh, Sissy won. Good job, Aubrey. You beat Alaya. There's the score. Oh. We're having fun though, aren't we? You did good. Yes, rematch. Aubrey. I just had to do it, guys. I fucking love my kids, dude. So fun. All right, let's rewind this a little bit. I wasn't even paying attention to this. Let's go.
Taking a look now, this is Berlin, Germany. Streets are cheering the killings of the top regime officials who have been oppressors of the people for decades. The regime projecting strength while citizens have toiled under miserable economic conditions and political and social repression and death. You know about all those protesters just in the last few weeks. An estimated 30,000 people targeted by their own government. That government now, big pieces of it are gone. We have Fox team coverage. Lieutenant Colonel Darren Gobb is coming up in focus. And Trey Yingst is on the ground in Tel Aviv, where air defenses continue to intercept Iranian missiles. Let's begin with Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin in Washington.
They
Jennifer.
are still attacking Israel at this
Harris,
point, right?
as you mentioned, CENTCOM has confirmed that 3 American service members were killed and 5 were seriously wounded in a missile strike. We're told other Americans sustained shrapnel injuries and suffered concussions. These are the first casualties of the war.
We lost 3 F-15s? Damn, I didn't see that. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I seen this video of a fighter jet literally dodging like 5,000 bullets and still hitting his target. It was crazy. How fast these jets are that we have is insane. And how good they are at driving them is even crazier.
War the U.S. and Israel have launched against Iran. CENTCOM would not say which U.S. base the missile strike targeted while family notifications continue. We also can now report that 4 B-2 bombers flew from their home base of Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri on a round trip to Iran and are now safely home. A senior U.S. defense official told me they dropped dozens of 2,000-pound penetrator bombs on Iranian ballistic missile sites that are hidden underground. The Iranians have mobile missile launchers that can be rolled out of caves and then pushed back into a protective bunker. They may have fewer of those launchers today, however. The Iranian strategy seems to be to escalate to de-escalate. The Iranians have fired 135 missiles and 209 drones at UAE, 66 missiles at Qatar, and 45 at Bahrain, along with 9 drones. Hotels and civilian apartment buildings are being hit by Iranian missiles and drones in neighboring Gulf states. Missiles have been fired at a U.S. military base in Erbil, likely by Shia militias in Iraq, who have long been funded by Iran. A mob tried to storm the U.S. embassy in Baghdad, and Pakistani security forces used batons and live fire to push back an angry crowd threatening the U.S. consulate.
Sent the video to me? All right, I'll check it out right now.
In Karachi, Pakistan. Both Iraq and Pakistan have large Shia Muslim populations. And British Defense Secretary John Healey said 2 missiles had been fired toward Cyprus, where the British Army has service members stationed. It's the First time Cyprus has ever been targeted by Iranian ballistic missiles, likely fired from Tabriz in western Iran. There are reports that the Iranians have reached out to Oman saying they are willing to talk. President Trump, as you just mentioned, just told The Atlantic that the Iranians have reached out and want to talk, and he is willing to talk to them. Israel's defense minister announced that Israel is now using stand-in weapons over Tehran and will now have 24/7 presence in the skies above Tehran. That means that they and the U.S. military have effectively suppressed the air defense systems over Tehran, a huge step forward in terms of being able to track the movements of Iranian leaders and forces. We reported yesterday that the start of the joint operation had to be moved up based on intelligence and this target of opportunity, the meeting at Khamenei's compound. Fox has now confirmed the intelligence for that strike came from the CIA, who passed it to the Israelis. The New York Times was the first to report this. The man to watch is Ali.
Dude, I couldn't imagine being in these jets this high up in the sky and flying the way the way I seen that one jet fly was even freaking crazy. You know what I mean? It was just really dodging. I'll have to find it. I'll save it on my phone and then go to my Instagram and pull it up. But yeah, it's just crazy. And let alone freaking spinning through the air, falling to your death unless you know, do the exit strategy and parachute.
Larijani, the head of Iran's Supreme National Security Council. He has moved into the top position in Iran. He just gave an interview in which he threatened.
Hey guys, I need you guys to double tap the screen and show some love and support, man. Get those likes up. Let's try and hit 100 likes before the first hour of the stream is over. We have 40 minutes left. I believe we can do it. 40 minutes. Everybody double tap your screen, get the likes up, show some love and support so we can get propelled into the algorithm, man. We have 40 minutes left within the first hour of the stream. Let's try and hit 100 likes, y'all.
And revenge for the killing of the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. Quote, the United States and the Zionists have burned the heart of the Iranian people, and we will burn their hearts. Now it seems both sides want to talk. Not clear if that means there will be regime change in the end, if there is a new supreme leader and Ali Larijani keeps the reins of power. He was one of the main members of the Iranian leadership, Harris, ordering the vicious killing of thousands of Iranian protesters just weeks ago. Harris.
Jennifer, thank you very much for getting us started. The conflict is having major impacts across the Middle East. You'll hear more and more about that during the Faulkner Focus today. Iran has launched waves of missiles and drones into Israel and the United States military bases and some civilian areas in the region. And we were told to expect some of that. What is an oddity, though, is that they are hitting Qatar, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates hard. Nations with at least relationships with Iran, if not some actual supporters in some cases. U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet headquarters in Bahrain was hit by an Iranian strike. And President Trump is warning what is left of Iran's leadership to stop this, stop the retaliation. Here's what he posted. Iran just stated that they are going to hit very hard today, harder than they have ever hit before. They better not do that. However, because if they do, we will hit them with a force
It's like Trump thinks that him posting on Truth Social is going to make him, or like, you know, is going to like convince Iran to not do anything. They better not do that. They said they're going to hit them harder than ever today. They better not do that. The world we live in today, man. We live in a world now where our president can create his own social media and post on it like it's Twitter. And, yeah.
Seen before, exclamation point from the commander-in-chief.
Dude, the fight, it would never come to American soil. Not for a long time, I don't see that. Because, dude, if we really wanted to, we could wipe Iran off the face of the planet. You know what I mean? But we're not. Like, the war that they're fighting now is, like, nothing compared to if we got them with a nuke. You know, if any country tried to attack America's homeland, I feel like the first thing that they would do is be like, you better stop or we're going to nuke your home country or whatever, you know?
Chief.
Interceptor rounds coming off right now to shoot down this incoming ballistic missile.
And this is Israel. You hear the sirens sounding repeatedly as Iranian projectiles are flying toward population centers there. The top level of that country's vast air defenses working to intercept the barrage. Still, An Iranian ballistic missile struck west of Jerusalem.
How am I complaining about transparency? You guys are great. I see we got crazies already in the chat.
Killed 9 people, injured nearly 50 others, including children. An Israeli military spokesperson.
I'm not complaining about nothing. I'm just saying it's quite funny that nowadays we're just, on social media posting, today Iran told me that they're going to attack harder than ever. They better not do that.
Says Israel has called up 100,000 reserve soldiers. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yinks is in Tel Aviv.
Dude, Fallout was such a good game. I miss playing that.
With the latest on this, Trey, it is nightfall there now, and sometimes we can see things tick up, although a lot of this has been playing out in the daytime. What is the latest?
Yeah, Harris, good afternoon. Throughout the day, we've watched as Iranian ballistic missiles soared through the skies of Israel, many of them intercepted by Israel's advanced air defense systems. But just outside of Jerusalem, one of those missiles slamming into a heavily populated area, killing at least 9 people, according to first responders. You can see crews here digging through the rubble, trying to put out the flames. Just a horrific scene. Tonight, Israel's prime minister addressing his country and the world, saying this.
Our forces are acting now in the heart of Tehran with increasing intensity, and it will only increase further in the coming days. And yet, these are painful days. Yesterday here in Tel Aviv, and now in Beit Shemesh, we lost dear people. My heart goes out to the families, and on behalf of all of you, citizens of Israel, I send strength to the wounded.
As the Israelis are continuing their airstrikes tonight against the Iranian regime, we know some protesters in Iran have taken to the streets. They are celebrating following this operation that was launched by President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that led to Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, being taken out. There were some small pockets of Iranians chanting "Death to America" in other locations. We're also hearing tonight from Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian, one of the few Iranian leaders still alive.
I appreciate y'all running up the likes, man. We got 18 likes. We just need 82 more beautiful people to double tap that screen so we can hit 100 likes within the first 60 minutes of the stream. We have 35 minutes left. I know we can do it.
America and Israel should be aware that this will bring them nothing but shame. Our great nation, who are now mourning this great martyr, must foil the enemy's evil plans by being present in mosques and on the streets.
We also have some new video from the Israelis showing strikes earlier today in the Iranian capital of Tehran. I'm told.
See, now this is 4K. The video we tried to watch there, the strikes, was like, whoa, like so grainy. Thank you, Almeida, for the subscription. God bless you and your family. Welcome to the See Me Now family.
By a senior Israeli security official that these strikes were taking out a building that the IRGC used to crack down on protesters earlier this year when President Trump says 32,000 civilians were killed. Now, Harris, I just got a message from a senior White House official who tells Fox News President Trump said new potential leadership in Iran has indicated they want to talk, and eventually he will talk. For now, Operation Epic Fury continues unabated. Harris?
And what are you hearing from leadership there in Israel about, kind of the ramp up against Tehran at this point, specifically that?
I spoke with a number of Israeli officials today who indicate that they are speaking hourly with American counterparts to prepare for this to be a prolonged campaign.
I'll let this be back.
Understand there are a number of off-ramps worked into this, but the bottom line here is that both the Trump administration and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government are approaching this war with Iran through a peace through strength initiative. They are trying to pressure the Iranian regime by not only taking out their leadership, but depleting their ballistic missile stockpile and basically forcing them eventually back to the negotiating table, understanding that this is the largest military operation against the Iranian regime in history. Harris?
Trey Yinks, thank you for the late-breaking notes on that. Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
Goodness gracious.
This is not a single overnight operation.
The military objectives that CENTCOM and the Joint Force have been tasked with will take some time to achieve, and in some cases will be difficult and gritty work. We expect to take additional losses, and as always, we will work to minimize U.S. losses.
We just need 80 more people to double tap that screen, man. I appreciate everybody who is running up the likes. Much love to you guys. We have 32 minutes left within the first 60 minutes of the stream today. 80 more people double tap your screen. We always try and hit 100 likes within the first 60 minutes. Show some love and support. Much love to you guys.
So General Kane giving us the latest headlines just minutes ago. The Pentagon giving our first update on Operation Epic Fury. We continue to follow many fast-breaking developments throughout the Middle East. The conflict against Iran's terror regime is now widening on multiple fronts. So on this Monday morning, it is day 3, but I would emphasize only day 3. I'm Bill Hammer here in New York, and good morning at home. Hello, Dana.
Good morning. Good to be with you. I'm Dana Perino, and this is America's Newsroom. So the terror group Hezbollah now entering the fray. They fired over the Lebanon border into Israel. The IDF responding with strikes against the Lebanese capital of Beirut.
So meanwhile, you have the Israeli Air Force continuing to unleash a mighty armada in the sky. Overnight.
My thing is, though, is like, why would China or Russia, Said Code, I agree, release the Epstein files, but don't be spamming, please. Why would Russia or China go to that extent if, like for Iran, like why would they do the whole nuke thing, hydrogen bomb thing, or whatever over Iran? Like, like they're such bigger countries and bigger superpowers. I just doubt that they would risk the life of humanity for Iran, right?
The IDF launching a wave of strikes in Tehran. So far, Israeli officials confirming that strikes have killed more than 40 Iranian commanders since the operation began. That includes top Revolutionary Guard leadership and Iran's defense minister.
And in the Gulf, several U.S. warplanes crashed in Kuwait. Thankfully, all crew members have survived.
Yeah, but there's so much oil everywhere else. And I get that Iran has oil, but I just I don't know. I just don't think that they would, like, if any country fires a nuclear weapon, it is not good, right? Like, I just don't think that they would risk the humanity over that.
Survived. The White House also releasing this photo of President Trump with his team gathered at Mar-a-Lago, using a secure location there to keep a close eye on the strikes on Iran as they unfolded. And moments ago,
it's just so obvious that Trump is compromised. And dude, this guy right here, Pete Hegseth, I see a picture, and this arm right here, he has a freaking Arabic or whatever. I don't know if it's Jewish or whatever language. It's infidel he has written on his arm.
Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Dan Kane giving the big picture on the high stakes of the operation for the United States, adding that more U.S. forces will be deployed in the conflict.
Our mission is to protect and defend ourselves, and together with our regional partners,
like the stream,
prevent
guys.
Iran from...
Like the stream, y'all. Come on. We need 78 more people to like the stream so we can hit 100 likes within the first 60 minutes. We have 29 minutes left. Let's go.
The ability to project power outside of its borders and be ready for follow-on actions as appropriate. Across every domain, land, air, sea, cyber, the U.S. Joint Force delivered synchronized and layered effects designed to disrupt, degrade, deny, and destroy Iran's ability to conduct and sustain combat operations. This deployment included thousands of service members from all branches, hundreds of advanced 4th and 5th generation fighters, dozens of refueling tankers, the Lincoln and Ford Carrier Strike Group and their embarked air wings, sustained flow of munitions, fuel, supplies, all supported with command and control, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance network. And the flow of forces continues today. In fact, Admiral Cooper will receive additional forces even today. This was a massive, overwhelming attack across all domains of warfare, striking more than 1,000 targets in the first 24 hours. We are now roughly 57 hours into the operation. Operation Epic Fury stands as a reminder of what the United States military uniquely delivers: the ability to project power on a global scale with speed, surprise, precision, and overwhelming force when and where our nation...
And all this while The Ukraine war is still going on.
Requires it.
So now we have Team Fox coverage. Lucas Tomlinson joins us live in Istanbul, Turkey. Alexandria Hoff is standing by for the latest headlines from the White House. Trey Yinks is live on the ground in Tel Aviv, and that is where we begin a new day and a new hour. Trey, hello.
Yeah, Bill, Dana, good morning. The Israeli military tells Fox News right now they are striking the Iranian capital of Tehran. This comes as the Iranians are responding with more ballistic missiles against this country, wounding 10 people in the southern city of Beersheba this morning. And overnight, this...
He's one of them boys. He can roll his tongue pretty good.
Conflict expanding. The Lebanese militant group Hezbollah, Iran's largest proxy, getting directly involved in the fight, launching rockets over the border into northern Israel, targeting the city of Haifa. Israel already responding. As you can see in this video here, the aftermath in the Dahya neighborhood of Beirut. They are striking a variety of targets, and they say the leader of Hezbollah, Naim Qassem, is a legitimate target. One resident in Beirut describes what he saw and heard.
At first, there were 3 explosions. They were a bit far.
Oh, shit, sorry.
At first, there were 3 explosions. They were a bit far. We went up to the roof and saw that the explosions were behind us. We could only see the
26
smoke.
minutes left, guys.
After
Double
about
tap the
10
screen
minutes,
so
there
we
was
can hit
another
100
strike
likes
right behind
in the
us.
first hour.
We all fled, and after another 10 minutes was the last strike. It was 3 consecutive strikes. We came here, and thank God we are okay now.
New video from the Israeli military shows how they are going after Iran's ballistic missile launching positions. Despite these efforts, the Iranians are still getting off a number of barrages both day and night. We have seen here from Tel Aviv these missiles soaring through the skies, being intercepted by Israel's advanced missile defense systems. We do expect advanced coordination to continue to try and control this threat, but we know the Iranians are still firing on Israel and regional Gulf countries. Bill, Dana.
Trey, thank you. Back to you for more headlines from the Middle East as they become available. I'm going to take our viewers through a number of things now.
Yeah, all I know, Tom, or who said that? Cole, is that if we send troops and resources to Iran or we invade in any way, I fully expect there to be riots in the streets of the United States, because look at how we pulled out of Afghanistan. Like, yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Developed over the weekend and what we think we are learning at the moment, given the Pentagon briefing and what we expect later today. To my right are satellite images from northwestern Iran. These are ballistic missile sites. You see the road wrap around this way? Look here and here in the before image. And then afterwards, you can see the missiles that struck and took out those launch sites here. Again, over here, northwestern part of the country, near the town of Tabriz.
Thank you to GN, or Glenn, sorry, I can't even see even though I have glasses, for the subscription. Welcome to the See Me Now family. God bless you.
These are the before images here. I look at these structures on the ground.
70 more people
and I see
see it.
what's
Double
left
tap the
over
screen,
on the
guys,
after,
so we
and
can
all
hit
those
100 likes
structures are
within the
gone.
first hour.
What about leadership? What happens in Iran?
Welcome in,
Who
Regas.
takes control? Who was elected? Who takes power? This is what we understand right now. We've been told through the White House that 48 leading leaders in Iran have been eliminated. On our image behind us, we have 9 of those, but they are significant. Head of the Military Bureau, head of intelligence, chief of staff of the armed forces, the IRGC commander, the head of Security Council, the Iranian Council there, defense minister in Iran, and of course the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran. Only 2 leaders have ever existed in the history of the Islamic Republic of Iran. This was the second after 37 years. He has now been eliminated. Over here, the reported U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran. In green, you can see the reported airstrikes thus far. In white, the reports of explosions.
People always say that, oh, well, us going into Iran will benefit America, this and that and the third. And it's like, dude, how does any of this benefit us? Like, we're just, like, why is it our business to do all this stuff, you know? We all know why, though, you know, it's compromised.
That we have seen actual footage, video footage of, that in yellow are the confirmed airstrikes as well. Look at the green here. Strait of Hormuz is going to get a lot of attention down here. This town of Bandar Abbas, okay? The Strait of Hormuz at its most narrow point is 21 miles long. About 1/5 of the U.S. oil supply, the global oil supply goes through the Strait of Hormuz every day. We're going to watch that throughout the day and see how that impacts markets. What I was talking about over there in the satellite images, these are up in the northwest corner of the town of Tabriz. On Saturday, if you were watching our coverage here, if you were to fly from Tehran to Israel, it's about 1,200 miles, and the Iranians clearly have the capacity, the missile capacity, to reach Israel. They also easily have the capacity to reach some of the Gulf nations down here, which I'll show you momentarily. But these ballistic missile sites that are located in the western part of the country are such a deadly force against the Gulf nations and against Israel. That cuts down 400 miles. So the reach here from western Iran into Israel is only 800 miles. It's an easy reach for the Iranians. Over here quickly on the retaliations with the Iranians and what they have done in the regional strikes. We will note throughout our program how many
Ryan, I don't care if you don't subscribe. I truly don't care. I'm gonna fucking chew gum on my stream. If you don't like it, then get off my stream. I really don't care. I want people who are subscribed that like me for me.
Civilian targets have been hit.
That's crazy.
Airports, hotels, these Gulf nations. But this is where the U.S. military is essentially established. Big Army base in Kuwait, big Navy base here in Bahrain, a big air base here, Al Udeid there in Qatar that's been built, Abu Dhabi as well. These are all locations that are easily right across the Persian Gulf into Iran for the military. Let me clear that off here and move to, and this is where the naval assets are set up. Quickly, I would just draw your attention, the USS Abraham Lincoln there in the Arabian Sea and the USS Gerald Ford just off the coast of Israel. These are the aircraft carriers. Nuclear-powered Ford, been at sea for more than 10 months. Has
64 more
to
people
do many,
double
many
tap the
things
screen
with
and
this,
we'll reach 100 likes
fleet
within
of
the first
carriers,
hour. I appreciate you guys
and
for running it
ships,
up. Thank you so
throughout
much.
the area. The reason we're showing you this map, and I'll wrap it up here, all right? A lot of times we get lost about these Gulf nations. Remember Kuwait, right? They've been hit. Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Oman, all of them pretty much held their fire, quite literally, until they were hit with some civilian sites. And then we saw over the weekend, Dana, that these Gulf nations have taken action and word at a minimum toward the Iranian regime today. So
and so we bring in Joey Jones. He's co-host of the Big Weekend Show, which I watched last night. He's a retired Marine bomb tech, a great guy, and we are glad to have him here. Let's just listen to President Trump. This is call for number one, talking about the sacrifice of American troops.
As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more before it ends.
And Joey, appropriate tone, right? So just let people know that we're in the middle of this. We just said day 3. General Kane just said 57th hour.
Yeah.
So we have a long way to go. But so far, in the success of the mission looks like, as it's set out, to be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, any loss of life is a tragedy. I pointed that out last night, and I reiterate that tonight or today. Now we're up to 4. 4 is a small number, but for everyone that loves those 4 individuals, it's a huge number. It's a gulf that they can't fill. And I think it's important we always reiterate.
Yeah, I can't take it either, Skippy. It's just, like I keep saying, it's going to be interesting where society is in the next 10 years, man, because we're just not going to keep taking it. People are getting fed up.
That, and I'm sure the administration understands that too. If you take a 30,000-foot view on this might be the most impressive military operation in our lifetime. And that's easy. Those are big words. That's easy to say. But when you start a press briefing saying that Space and Cyber Command was the first to act, and then you look at all the groundwork laid from the entirety of President Trump's tenure, from Abraham Accords. I mean, honestly, right now we're looking at this saying that Midnight Hammer and Maduro were dress rehearsals for this operation. I mean, you talk about working the kinks out. That's how you work the kinks out for an operation like this. It's incredibly impressive. What I'm gleaning, and this is gleaning, this is not, no intelligence, just watching, no conversations, just watching what's being said. I think they do probably anticipate having strategic groups on the ground, whether it be special forces. I think we hit a place where, one, we're having to find these missile silos where they're hidden, and 2, perhaps it has to do with whatever government comes in. I think the thing that we have to look.
Sorry, this seemed more interesting. Hold on. Drones target British air base in Cyprus. Well, this has no sound. Okay, honey.
Joining us is Dan Bongino, Fox News contributor, former deputy director of the FBI. Dan, thank you for joining us tonight.
Sure.
The death of Khamenei, will this end?
Guys, there's 18 minutes left within the first 60 minutes of the stream. Double tap your screen so we can get 100 likes. We need 59 more beautiful people to just like the stream. Double tap your screen. Hit the three dots on the top right corner. If you don't have, or if the double tap doesn't work, hit the three dots on the top right corner. God bless you. Thank you guys for supporting the channel today. Sorry I was late on stream, but it is what it is. Tavo Pluga, thank you for the subscription. God bless you and your family. Welcome to the See Me Now family. Let's go.
Up being the sea change in the Middle East that so many have been waiting for, or at this moment is this being overstated given what we don't know yet on the ground there?
Well, it's absolutely certain that they've had a secession plan in place. They obviously know they've been targets for a long time. Having said that, Laura, it's been close to 50 years we've been...
This guy's a freaking clown, dude.
...dealing with the seed of the Shia Islamo-radicalism in Iran. Republican and Democrat administrations have largely failed to act. We've tried a number of different strategies, from the JCPOA to even de facto and de jure appeasement at times, and none of it's worked. President Trump is the first president to make a decisive
welcome in everybody else that's
call on
new.
this
Welcome
and to
in.
say we've had enough.
Make sure you guys go to my bio and join the Discord as well. I don't know. Hopefully the link in my bio is still good. I think it is. Yeah, it is. So go to the link in my bio and join the Discord to become more a part of the community, so you guys can talk to us. And we can continue the community to outside of the YouTube. And go follow my Rumble as well. That's in my bio as well. I do have a 10 super chat goal up of any color. So $1 and above. Get your name written on the donor wall. I do also have my Ko-Fi linked in the pinned comment. So if anyone wants to donate to your boy, it's also in my bio. Get your name written down on the donor wall as well. Help the channel out, continue to grow, and help me be able to do this Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, some weekends, from 9 Central Time to 1 p.m. Central Time.
And keep in mind, Laura, I understand. This is not going to be another Iraq war. I'm convinced that's not how President Trump, I believe, is thinking about this. But, the folks out there who are criticizing him, you have to understand, he gave them a long runway for diplomacy. He's been talking about since 2016 the fact that bombing and taking out and decapitating the regime is an option. He gave them a number of opportunities to take an off-ramp, and they just didn't take it. And now they're dead. And that's just the facts.
And Dan, all of us remember all too well the $1.4 billion in cash that was directly given to Iran. During the Obama administration. These were funds that were unfrozen, and this was part of the Iranian negotiation at the time. After he failed to support the Green Revolution on the ground in 2009, which he conceded was a mistake. But there's been an attempt after attempt and flub after flub, and Trump said, I'm not going to kick this can down the road. I'm going to try to deal with this, and whatever anyone says, that is super bold.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any idea how many white papers in academia have been written about how to transform this cauldron into the Middle East into a more peaceful place? President Trump, I think he thinks in a basic kind of SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. The Iranians were just too stupid to take advantage of that. A basic game theory analyst will tell you when you're in a position of weakness like the Iranians were, they have no air defenses, they have a military designed solely for regime preservation, and they couldn't even do that for a day. What you try to do is you try to mitigate threats and take advantage of small opportunities when you're in a position of weakness. What the Iranians did, and now they're dead, their leadership, is they exacerbated the threats and they kicked away all the opportunities every time they came in front of them. They were not negotiating from any position of strength whatsoever.
There's 13 minutes left on the stream. We need 54 more beautiful people to just like the stream, show some love and support. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes within the next 13 minutes so we can achieve our 100 likes within the first hour. God bless you guys.
Laura, even their proxies have abandoned them. And we don't know what's going to happen moving forward. I'm sure there's going to be something that emerges from this, and we all hope it doesn't. But their proxies have been basically castrated. They had no card to play with, and they were acting like they had a full house. It was just bizarre, and now you see what happens.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Dan, just posted on X moments ago, we will not tolerate powerful missiles targeting the American people. Those missiles will be destroyed along with Iran's missile production. The Iranian Navy will be destroyed. And as President Trump has said his entire life, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon.
Shadow, join the Discord then and send some videos and pictures of it. I would love to get some live updates from you then, from where you're from.
The United States didn't start this conflict, but we will finish it. If you kill or threaten Americans anywhere in the world, as Iran has, then we will hunt you down and we will kill you. There's been some disagreement, though, hasn't there, Dan, between the intel community and what they concluded Iran was capable of. And fast forward to today, when we say we're not going to tolerate missiles that target Americans, I imagine what Secretary of War Hegseth is saying is missiles that target American military bases in the Middle East, because they did not have the power to hit the mainland United States, not even close.
Yeah, I mean, I know what surfaces in open source and what happens behind the scenes is typically different, but there's a relatively strong consensus, and it is all open source now, that the Iranians were just completely committed to enrichment. They were offered a path many times for a civilian nuclear program with proper guardrails, and they basically gave the double-barreled middle finger to anyone who suggested it and said, no, we're going to enrich and we're going to do it here. We're not even going to entertain guardrails. Well, if you want to enrich to the point the Iranians wanted to enrich, you want to weaponize it. You're not looking at powering a bunch of heated pools in Iran. You're looking at it to create a weapon. And even after President Trump decimated their nuclear program before, again, this is what I was talking about before with the point of weakness, you would think at that point they would have made some major concessions and tried to mitigate some of the threats and take advantage of small opportunities. They did the exact opposite. They basically made no concessions at all. And President Trump and his team had basically had enough. You can only offer them food so many times before they throw it in your face. And now
Dan,
you see what happens.
And Dan, your message to some of our friends on the right who are saying, look, President Trump ran on no regime change, and now President Trump is doing regime change. You see the Democrats are picking up on that for 2026 themes. Your message to them tonight.
Well, it's incredible how the doomers, Laura, it hasn't even been 24 hours. It's happened at 3 a.m. It's not 3 a.m. Eastern time. Can you give the man a chance to cook a little bit? I mean, he just deposed and decapitated the entire upper-level infrastructure of the Iranian death to America regime. Maybe give the guy 5 minutes before you're already crapping on everything he did? I mean, who else has been able to do this? If it doesn't work out over time, there'll be a bunch of papers and a bunch of talking heads, I'm sure, who will rip it apart. It's been 24 hours. Give the guy a chance. Where's he been proven wrong in the past? I thought World War III was going to break out after the Abraham Accords and after he moved the embassy and after he got Maduro. None of that happened. Give the guy a chance. He knows what he's doing. He's surrounded himself with more than competent people. Give it a chance. It's not even been 24 hours yet.
All right, Dan, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Busy news night, obviously.
Dude, holy crap. You guys got to look at this. Hold on.
Fox News alert, Iran's supreme leader and more than 40 senior regime figures, up to 49.
Look at this. This is crazy. So this is in Bahrain, and it got hit by a missile, and it's supposed that there's alleged American military personnel there, command personnel. Bahrain still hasn't released a statement, but holy crap, dude. Look at this. This is crazy. This is like unheard of. Like it's in my bio. Go in my bio, Shadow. Go to my bio. But yeah, this is crazy. I mean, see what happens? We attack Iran, we take out their leader, we do all this stuff. Now look, all the countries around Iran and neighboring places that have American bases are feeling it. Look at this. I mean, holy crap. You see that explosion there on the left side of this thing? Watch it. Everybody pay attention to the bottom left. Holy shit. Dude, I'm not going to be surprised if this thing collapses. That's crazy, you guys. And I just pray for all of our men and women who are over there and staying in places, and I pray that no more of our people have to pass away from this stupid act we did on behalf of another country.
And have been killed, eliminated. Let's turn to the wall right now to take a look at who they are and what they do. First off, the guy.
We fucking heard this already. Let's see if there's anything else we could.
The United States and Israel conducted a second day of strikes on targets across Iran.
Shout out 60 Minutes. I don't know if this is going to be freaking content, or copyright, but hopefully it's not. So, guys, we just need 47 more beautiful people to double tap the screen so we can reach 100 likes within the first 60 minutes of the stream. We have 7 minutes before we reach 60 minutes. So can we reach 100? I appreciate everybody for running up the likes. If double tapping doesn't work, remember to hit the 3 dots in the top right corner and hit the like button. Show some love and support, man. Hit the like button. We need 47 more beautiful people. Just hit the like button so we can hit 100 likes within the first. Welcome in, Brody. Welcome back, brother. God bless you. God bless you. Chill Will, thank you for your subscription. God bless you and your family. Welcome to the See Me Now family. 31 more people. Just need to double tap the screen, and man, we'll be at 100 likes within the first 60 minutes. We have 5 minutes left. 31 more people. Just need to double tap the screen. Show some love and support, guys. 31 more people.
Have an example of such level of atrocity ever in the history of Iran, or at least contemporary Iran, that has occurred under this regime. And this is all because of Ali Khamenei's insistence and persistence.
I just feel like if it wasn't for Islam, some of these countries wouldn't be like this. And I got people who are Muslim that are friends, and I don't think it's it's not obviously all Muslims, and it's not Islam, but I think Islam is the root of why some of these regimes act the way they do. That's just my personal opinion, so don't be mad at me, but that's just how I feel. Gabriel, Olivia, thank you for your subscription. God bless you and your family. But yeah, I just truly feel like I appreciate y'all for running it up, man. 4 more minutes, y'all. 27 more likes. 27 more beautiful people just need to like the stream. Double tap that screen. If double tapping doesn't work, hit the 3 dots in the top right corner and hit the like button. We have 3 minutes left. Can we reach 100? 3 minutes left. 27 more people. Beautiful people just need to like the stream, y'all. Come on, let's hit 100 within the first hour. 2 more minutes. We can do it. Oh, 21 more people. 21 more beautiful people. Just need to double tap your screens, guys. Come on, 21 more people till we're at 100 likes. Show some love and support. Can I get 21 more beautiful people to like the stream? We got 170 in here, man. 21 of you guys got to show some love, man. Come on, show some love and support, man. We just need 19 more likes, y'all.
Prevention.
You guys, man. Well, we hit 60 minutes, but we're 12 likes away from 100. I think we did pretty good today. We're starting to get back to the point where we can hit 100 likes within the first hour. I appreciate you guys so much for running it up. We just need 12 more people to like the stream. We'll be at 100, but of course, we're just going to see how many likes we can get to. But you guys know we run it up every day. I appreciate every single one of you guys. We were at 10,651. Now we're at 10,675. We're running it up. I appreciate everybody for subbing up. God bless you guys. Welcome to the family. Join the Discord, show some love and support, and go follow me on Rumble.
Hearted support.
Thank you to Christy for the subscription. God bless you and your family. Welcome to the See Me Now family. I appreciate y'all for subbing up today. Welcome to the family. You want 100 likes? I truly appreciate you. Something random and that I just seen. I want to kind of show you this, I guess. So the Twitter handle person that goes by Project Constitution, exclusive Charlie Kirk or Charlie's parents moved to block Erica's personal trademark power grab, quote unquote verbal will, also under fire as parents challenge Erica Kirk's CEO takeover at TPUSA. The media is trying to sell you a story of a united family, but the legal receipts tell a different story. While Erica Kirk was rapidly installed as CEO of Turning Point USA, claiming it was Charlie's quote-unquote dying wish, a massive legal rift has opened between her and Charlie's parents, Robert and Marjorie Kirk. I guess I've never even, I don't even know his parents' names were, so that's interesting to know. Here is the intelligence update on the battle for the Kirk legacy. 1. The trademark smoking gun, serial number 99 whatever. On October 4th, 2025, just weeks after the assassination, Erica Kirk didn't file for Charlie's name on behalf of the charity. She filed for Charlie Kirk as a personal trademark for herself. So she's trying to word trademark Charlie Kirk's name, right? And everything that has to do with Charlie's name. The goal, total personal ownership of Charlie's name, voice, and likeliness for everything from clothing to financial services. The conflict, Charlie's parents are reportedly moving to block this. Under U.S. PTO rules, you cannot trademark a deceased public figure's name if it creates a false suggestion of connection to their actual estate or surviving family without consent. His parents are refusing to give that consent. The probate battle, did Charlie actually leave her nothing? While the viral satire video claimed Charlie left Erica Kirk $0 due to an affair, the legal action friction is even deeper. The quote verbal will dispute, TPUSA claims Charlie gave verbal instructions for Erica to take over Charlie's parents, or for Erica to take over. Charlie's parents are reportedly challenging this in Maricopa County, demanding a full audit of the Kirk family trust. This case is currently sealed, but my source close to the investigation tells me there is very much a probate dispute behind the scenes in the courts. The assets, they are fighting to ensure Charlie's millions in intellectual property stay with the bloodline, his 2 children, and aren't consolidated into Erica's personal business entities. We have identified a pre-opposition lock on this application. Charlie's parents, Robert and Marjorie Kirk, have reportedly retained counsel to file Section 2C objection. This prohibits the registration of a name identifying a recent deceased public figure without written consent from his parents, basically. Here, I'll turn up my mic a little bit. The specific trademark targets Erica's filing seeks personal ownership over Charlie's name for educational and entertainment services, lectures, podcasts, video production, clothing and merchandise, the entire Kirk brand aesthetic, insurance and financial services, control over the estate, monetary legacy. The TPUSA succession dispute and the audit, new intelligence from February 2026 reveals that the unanimous board vote that installed Erica as CEO is now under legal fire. The parents are using reports of, quote, financial impropriety, specifically on $350,000 shell company transferred for a life insurance policy, to demand a third-party audit of the Kirk family trust. This is a tactical move to freeze Erica's ability to move IP or funds into her personal accounts. So, yeah, that's crazy. So Erica is trying to sit here, and you can see here, she's trying to trademark Charlie's name in every way, right? So she's trying to trademark Charlie Kirk, trying to trademark his signature. Charlie Kirk again here in all caps. Charlie Kirk's other signature, Charlie Kirk's Life Matters, and Kirk and Kirk. So she's trying to get all these trademarked, and her family's fighting it because she's you know, and I know this is a pivot. We're gonna go back to the Iran situation, but it's like with Erica Kirk, it's obvious that she has bad intentions, right? Like she's trying to trademark all this stuff, and it's obvious that Charlie's family is not involved in what's going on, and that's why they're, you know, doing these legal things and saying, you know, getting lawyers and objecting to everything and trying to freeze Erica's accounts. She's trying to sit here and move money into her personal accounts and trying to take the name and likeliness of their son away when she's under fire and under scrutiny for her actions as of late. And she's being investigated by the people for potentially being involved or covering up, allegedly, Charlie's assassination. So to me, that's just crazy. And seeing that, it's pretty obvious that Charlie Kirk's parents are against Erica, right? And I'm glad to know what Charlie Kirk's parents' names are, and I'm glad to know that they're fighting for something because, yeah, it's just pretty obvious that Erica's trying to move to take everything. And like Candace Owens said, she's a hopper. She tries to join or get with men to use them as stepping stones to get to a bigger point in her life, which is, you know, basically to get with a man who can give her all the money in the world. And look at what happened with Charlie. Now she's trying to get all the money in the world. And to see those trademarks, as a person that's trademarked my own stuff and all this other stuff, it's pretty crazy that she has that many that she's trying to do. Like, she's definitely trying to make it so she has everything. Like, no one's going to be able to use Charlie Kirk's, anything that has to do with Charlie Kirk at all, because of what she's doing. And, yeah, I don't know. I just think Erica, at this point, my own personal opinion, so no one get mad at me, it is what it is, but I just think she's scum. I just think she's terrible. I just think she's terrible.
Oh, breaking news.
And the fact that she's trying to do these watermarks and stuff like this is just insane to me. I guess real quick, I want to play the video that's right next to the pictures.
Erica is saying full
Come on,
steam.
Zoom out, fool. Thank you. God.
Ahead. It's very strange. It is Erica is saying full steam ahead. It's very strange. It is even kind of using this idea of Charlie being in heaven, looking down, and the laughter.
And when we see those trademarks, it's even more crazy when we listen back onto those leaked phone calls about her talking about all the merch sales and all this other shit.
I don't know. I feel like the rest of you. I feel uncomfortable. And of course, now we're going to listen to...
No, VIP, you're wrong. A $250 million grifter.
Is her pivot to the future vision, because that's what the bulk of this is about. And it's going to consist of the notebooks that I keep telling you the public is never going to see. Apparently, what I gather from this is that Charlie presented to the staff a vision for 2025, but Erica is going to say that there was a vision beyond that.
You know, it would be so crazy to see someone interview and get Charlie's parents' thoughts and interview them and ask them how they feel about Erica and all this other stuff, because I would really love to hear their side of everything. And I think they should speak out, because the court of public opinion is a big thing too, and I feel like they should speak out.
All the way to 2030. And there's a project 2030. And then she's going to kind of want to say that she's happy, but then catch herself realizing that that would be kind of weird to say that she's happy. Take a listen.
All you guys got to do is click the link in my bio, go to Discord, and if you don't have an account, make an account, but all you got to click is join server.
The prophetic mind of my husband was that he always planned for the future. You guys are obviously aware of Vision 2025, but Charlie was also working on Vision 2030 in the weeks leading up to September 10th, and he was working really closely with Justin, and that's why Justin had been appointed the role of COO, because he was literally, I remember phone calls when Charlie and I would take our night walks, and it would be 10 o'clock at night, and him and Justin would just be talking about the plans. I was aware of the plans.
I don't know. Everything. I don't know. This, when we first listened to it, it sounds fucked up. But when you go back and listen to it, it's like you just continue to hear and are able to point out more and more things.
I have his journals that are
100%, Chandra. Exactly. I agree.
Aware of the plans. There is no confusion of what's to come. And I want to give you guys that reassurance that it's full steam ahead, and the board and I are working with Justin and the executive leadership teams to make sure that all of those plans come into effect 2030 and beyond. But I, again, am so grateful for all of you. I'm so proud of all of you. You honor my husband.
And I hope Charlie's parents win in court. I hope they take everything from her. I hope they take the likeliness of Charlie's name so she can't make any money off of it. I hope they get her out of the turning point. I hope Charlie's parents go full steam ahead and don't quit and get even more savage, because I'm telling you what, it needs to happen.
And so well, all of you do. And it's weird to say I'm excited. I really hesitate saying that. It's really hard for me to say that. It's a really weird thing to say, but I think it comes from a space of peace, knowing that God's using this, and we're humbly witnessing the gospel in real time.
I don't know what to say.
We have decades worth of my husband's voice. We have.
And hearing or looking at those trademarks and watermarks and all the other new stuff, hearing her say this is fucking crazy. Oh, we got decades of my husband's voice, this and that. Like, she's just already planning in her head what she's going to do with all of it.
Unused material from speeches that he's had that no one has heard yet. We have Sunday specials lined up to the brim because my husband was so intentional about making sure that there was enough content. Always.
He made sure we recorded everything.
Everything.
He would not do a speech unless we could get the video and the
100%. So we have speeches that no one's heard of. We have interviews that no one's heard of. We have stuff from Korea and Japan that no one's heard of.
Podcasts.
So, I mean, in the words of my husband, buckle up, because there is a lot of content to be had. And we have so many amazing things down the pipeline that we are working on currently that will
unveil in due time.
I am so excited.
Yeah.
And so,
and by the way, those are things Charlie himself
that he wanted.
He wanted. We were working on.
See, it's always Charlie wanted it. Charlie wanted it. This is what Charlie would want. Charlie's upstairs dancing in heaven, guys.
Some big things, right up until the end, and we've talked about that a lot. Like a lot of the guiding vision that we're using right now to kind of steady the ship and figure out where we're going is the things Charlie himself
100%.
Told us where we were going.
100%. And similar with Turning Point USA. Charlie.
Well, you're in the right spot, Chandra, because guess what? This is a family, and we're all like-minded people here. That's why I always say it. I got the best community on YouTube, y'all. Let's go.
They had a plan moving past 2030 that he's shared with the team and has implemented. So we're not going anywhere.
Make sure you guys like the stream, guys.
We have the blueprints.
We have the blueprints. We have our marching orders, and we are just remaining humble and grateful to God, and we're remaining just stewards to what God has blessed us with. And I know Charlie's.
So is being humble appointing private investigators to go take pictures of your guys' of ex-employees' houses? Is that being humble? Sending private investigators to take pictures of ex-employees / whistleblowers' houses? I don't think that's humble.
It's going to continue to guide us, and the Lord will continue to guide us. And I just wanted to let everyone know that this is far beyond any of us sitting in these chairs. This has nothing to do with us. It never will. The glory all to God on that front. And I just am excited. It's weird to say excited, but it's also very surreal to say it because I know that
I just truly think she doesn't think about what the fuck she's going to say before she says it. I'm just truly excited. What?
God will use all of this in a way that will glorify him, further Charlie's legacy, and Charlie's up in heaven just having.
He's rooting us on. I know that.
He's so rooting us on.
Have you guys had a conversation, on the board and just C-level executives of the company? Have you guys talked to Eric about that, just like looking out for opportunists that are going to be circling around her at this point?
I don't think I need to tell Erica that.
Yeah.
Erica is very shrewd. She's very smart.
And by the way, this is Andrew Colvett. If you guys don't know, this is the guy who's just rogue and apparently just, spews out information that he ain't supposed to spew out. Everything links back to Andrew Colvett.
Very sharp. There's a great story. I can't really tell you who this was, but it was a very important person. And it happened within hours of the news. And the call goes in. She takes it because it was a very important person. And the question was to her, okay, so just as a starting point, like, what do you know? And I think it was in reference to like Charlie's world, his work, his mission. Like, how much do you know about what he was doing? Like, what was he doing? But it was inferred. It was like, so what do you know? And she was like, I know everything. And I was like, that's amazing. Because she did.
Dude, that sounds so ominous. Listen to it again. What do you know? Erica says, I know everything about this company. I'm taking this company and I know absolutely everything about it. I was by Charlie all the time. I was even outside of some doors putting a glass to the door, listening in to phone calls.
You know, but it was inferred. It was like, so what do you know? And she was like, I know everything. And I was like, that's amazing. Because she did, because Charlie would go home. And if you knew Charlie, I mean, a lot of influencers, a lot of people in this space, they go out and they party, they do that.
Nope.
Charlie did not. He went straight home to Erica. If she was traveling with him, he went straight home to her very early and hung out with her. And
See, and that's what's sad, because it sounded like Charlie was truly a good father, a good husband, and all that. Super loyal. And it sounds like Eric, like he just deserved better.
and they talked, and he would bounce ideas off of her. And she,
I'm sure Mossad had everything bugged.
Really was this support to him. And the world is about to discover that Erica is one of the most exceptional and amazing women you're ever going to meet. Or as Blake says from the Charlie Kirk show side, Blake goes, "What a woman." And
I love Blake.
The world's going to find out that Erica is, in fact, what a woman. What's amazing about Erica is that she was so happy to defer to headship, to the leadership of Charlie Kirk in the household at Turning Point USA. But that was, and to empower him and be like this support structure for him and to provide a steadiness. And she thrived in that role. But that is not to say that she is not capable of leadership. In fact, I heard you mention kind of that call that she had with the staff, and it's very feminine. It's a change in that sense because she's a woman. It's very feminine. It's a different approach. It's a different tone, but it's almost like just as efficient and just as on point and just as focused and just as strong. And so it's the feminine version of it. It's like so many of us who have been around Charlie for as long as we have, it's almost like you can't help but absorb his energy and absorb his rhythms. And I noticed this too, because I spent so many years doing Charlie's media hits and setting them up for him and prepping him and doing talking points and going through, how we're going to present the arguments. And then here I am, it was the Monday JD hosted the show.
Yeah, I guarantee you she's in a relationship with one of these people. Alleged, but,
From the White House, and I had 5 or 6 media hits with all the networks.
I just get this vibe because it's like, why else? Like, I feel like he is, like, she probably was doing something with Andrew because it's like, why would they be on a 3-way call with the hospital? Why wouldn't it just be Erica on there? Why would he, know a lot of this information when it should be Erica's family that knows it? Or, it's just this weird vibe, I guess.
Lined up, they all wanted to find out more. It was, hugest, biggest story in the world. And so I end up going and doing all these hits from Pebble Beach right in the White House where they have all the media tents set up. And so all of a sudden I find myself in this surreal place where I'm the one now doing the media hits about the man that I used to do that job to like set him up for those media hits. And I'm having this almost outer body experience because I start sort of, not barking orders, but in the sense that when you're in that seat and you're like, hey, can I get this? Yeah. Hey, did you check on this? And I find myself, I was doing what Charlie would do.
Yep.
I caught myself. I was like, whoa, like these lessons went in deep and I didn't even realize it. And when your back's against the wall.
Yeah. Send the videos, send the pictures and the videos or whatever, to update us, whatever, you can.
And you're drinking through a fire hose and you can barely keep up. All of a sudden the lessons, it's kind of like a soldier. You train for the war. And then when the war happens, like your training will kick in.
Yep.
It was like my training kicked in and the training was Charlie Kirk.
Give me 1 second.
If that's true for me, imagine being Erica Kirk, that, they put their heads down on the pillow next to each other. They talked before going to bed every night and in the morning, and they were constantly in contact. And so she knows everything. She knows who to trust, who not to. She knows who to embrace. She knows who's going to be the allies in the fights ahead. And you can rest assured that Erica Kirk is up to the task.
Love you. Kiss. You all right? You want to sit on Daddy's lap? Right here? You want to sit here? What's the matter? Show me your tongue. Aubrey, like this. Please?
CENTCOM has confirmed a fourth American service member has
Yeah, I
been
just think all that's crazy. I had to show you guys that about Charlie. And I'll check it out in a second, Shadow.
killed during Operation Epic Fury in Iran, succumbing to wounds after being injured, as smoke was seen rising near the U.S. Embassy compound in Kuwait after Iran and Iranian-backed militias launched missiles at Israel and Arab states. CENTCOM confirmed several U.S. military aircraft crashed. All crew members there survived. Operation Epic Fury successfully killed Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khomeini. He is dead. 40 other Iranian military leaders also dead. New attacks destroyed Iranian naval ships and its headquarters. President Trump is urging Iranians to take back their country. Watch.
I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, police, to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you.
Joining me now is former Secretary of State and Fox News contributor Mike Pompeo. Secretary, thank you very much for being here. Do you believe that the Iranians will lay down their weapons at this point?
Well, good morning, Maria. Look, if this was a Little League game, the mercy rule would have gone into effect. The overwhelming effort these last now 72 hours is remarkable. The death of any American is tragic. We are grateful for the soldiers and sailors that are out there taking risk, and to the families of those who have lost their lives, we are deeply saddened and grateful to them. But this is overwhelming power, and you see the Iranians lashing out in ways that are irrational. I don't imagine they're going to lay down their weapons anytime soon. This is their last gasp to maintain their power. They're confused. They're disorganized because of the amazing work of the United States and Israel, but they're going to stay at this. This is a regime that's been at it for since 1979, with Ayatollah having been there since 1980s. They're going to stay at this, Maria. We need to stay at it, finish the job, defang the Iranian regime, and we will have undone a central pillar of the Chinese Communist Party's power in the region in a way that only President Trump could possibly have pulled off.
And of course, you led the efforts in President Trump's first term. Secretary, stay right there. The Department of War Secretary Pete Hegseth giving an update right now at the podium. Let's listen in.
Again, being an American means something unbreakable. If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you. President Trump has also been very consistent. Crazy regimes like Iran, hell-bent on prophetic Islamist delusions, cannot have nuclear weapons. It's common sense. Many have said it, but it takes guts to actually enforce it, and our president has guts. Iran's stubborn and self-evident nuclear pursuits, their targeting of global shipping lanes, and their swelling arsenal of ballistic missiles and killer drones are no longer tolerable risks. Iran was building powerful missiles and drones to create a conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Let me say that again. A conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Our bases, our people, our allies, all in their crosshairs.
Sorry, guys, my daughter wanted me to get her some stuff.
Iran had a conventional gun to our head as they tried to lie their way to a nuclear bomb. It almost worked under Obama and his terrible deal, but not under this president. Turns out the regime who chanted death to America and death to Israel was gifted death from America and death from Israel. This is not a so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it. Today, in their desperation, the enemy is unmasked, as Iranian missiles and drones rain down indiscriminately on the hotels, airports, apartments, and other civilian targets of their neighbors. Cowardly terrorist tactics from a regime that for decades has trafficked in cowardly terrorist tactics, lies, death, and destruction to this day. The Iranian leadership has built nothing except proxies and missiles and drones and deeply buried nuclear factories and facilities. Peaceful nuclear ambitions do not need to be buried underneath mountains. Last June, Operation Midnight Hammer obliterated their nuclear program to rubble. Afterward, we told them plainly, that's it, now make a deal. They arrogantly refused. We said, rebuild it, and we'll stop you again, this time far worse. Well, President Trump, Secretary Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, they bent over backwards for real diplomacy, offering pathway after pathway to peace. I watched it. I was there. They tried over and over and over again earnest attempts at peace. The former regime had every chance to make a peaceful and sensible deal. But Tehran was not negotiating. They were stalling, buying time to reload their missile stockpiles and restart their nuclear ambitions. Their goal, hold us hostage, threatening to strike our forces. Well, President Trump doesn't play those games. And as Secretary Rubio said after the Maduro raid, if you don't know, now you know. President Trump puts America and Americans first. He doesn't hesitate, and neither do our troops. The mission of Operation Epic Fury is laser-focused. Destroy Iranian offensive missiles, destroy Iranian missile production, destroy their navy and other security infrastructure, and they will never have nuclear weapons. We're hitting them surgically, overwhelmingly, and unapologetically. With every passing day, our capabilities get stronger and Iran's get weaker. We set the terms of this war, from start to finish. Our ambitions are not utopian. They are realistic, scoped to our interests and the defense of our people and our allies. Speaking of people, we hope the Iranian people take advantage of this incredible opportunity. President Trump has been clear, now is your time. To Iranian security forces, choose wisely. President Trump has also been clear about your fate in either direction. To the media outlets and political left screaming endless wars, stop. This is not Iraq. This is not endless. I was there for both. Our generation knows better, and so does this president. He called the last 20 years of nation-building wars dumb, and he's right. This is the opposite. This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes. Israel has clear missions as well, for which we are grateful. Capable partners, as we've said since the beginning, capable partners are good partners. Unlike so many of our traditional allies who wring their hands and clutch their pearls, hemming and hawing about the use of force. America, regardless of what so-called international institutions say, is unleashing.
Thank you to Stacy Stallard for the subscription. God bless you and your family. Welcome to the See Me Now family.
The most lethal and precise air power campaign in history. B-2s, fighters, drones, missiles, and of course, classified effects.
Yeah, classified effects. I'm sure they're using frequency weapons too, allegedly. I'm a comedian that is off my meds, so.
All on our terms, with maximum authorities. No stupid rules of engagement, no nation-building quagmire, no democracy-building exercise, no politically correct wars. We fight to win, and we don't waste time or lives. As the president warned, an effort of this scope will include casualties. War is hell, and always will be. A grateful nation honors the 4 Americans we have lost thus far and those injured. The absolute best of America. May we prosecute the remainder of this operation in a manner that honors them. No apologies, no hesitation, epic fury for them and the thousands of Americans before them, taken too soon by Iranian radicals. Before I turn it over to General Kane for the operational update, let me speak straight to you, the Joint Force, our warriors on the front lines. This is your moment. This is the generational turning point America has waited for since 1979, and since the rudderless wars of hubris, my generation, our generation, endured. Don't listen to the noise. Just stay focused. Our commander-in-chief is steady at the wheel. We face a determined enemy, but you are better. But we must prove it every single day. History doesn't care if we're tired, if we're scared, or if the fight feels big. It demands warriors who rise anyway. Peace through strength, the warrior ethos, lethality, unity of purpose, those are not slogans. They're the beating heart of what it means to wear the uniform, that uniform. You think clearly under fire, you act decisively in chaos, you uphold the Constitution, and you uphold our country without hesitation. We are not defenders anymore. We are warriors, trained to kill the enemy and break their will. History is watching. Be the force you swore an oath to be: focused, disciplined, lethal, and unbreakable. We will finish this on America First conditions of President Trump's choosing. Nobody else's, as it should be. And know this above all, President Trump and I have your back, always. Through fire, through criticism, through fake news, through everything. We unleash you because you are the best, most powerful, most lethal fighting force the world has ever seen. May Almighty God watch over you, and his providential arms of protection extend over you. Godspeed, warriors, and keep going.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth with an update there on Iran from the Pentagon this morning. We will continue to follow this and bring you the very latest that comes out of it. I'm talking with former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. And Secretary, before we went to the live coverage of Pete Hegseth, you were saying about the China impact. Of course, we are watching the Strait of Hormuz basically shut down, not officially, but shipping lanes have been quieted in a big way. Is that the worry that China has? And what are you expecting the impact to be, as the president is expecting to take a very important trip at the end of March to go see Xi Jinping?
Yes, that timing of that trip is actually fascinating now, given what's going on here. The Chinese have a problem, certainly, with the strait being closed. They are buying discounted oil from the Iranian Ghost Fleet, which has benefited their economy at the expense of the United States of America for an awfully long time. But, Maria, you know, there's something deeper. The Chinese have used Iran as their primary pillar of infrastructure in the Middle East. They've used it. The folks who killed 20,000, 30,000 people depended on Chinese technology to surveil their people, Huawei and Hikvision. The Chinese have used this to infiltrate throughout the Gulf Arab states as well. This has been their strategic footprint in the Middle East, and if taken down, we will have weakened the Chinese Communist Party's capacity to hold Americans at risk. This is big for the Middle East. It's big for Israel, but really important in what is really the true first major effort to take down a pillar of Chinese power.
Wow, what an important point that is. Secretary, thank you very much. And we've got more breaking news this morning. Kuwait's defense minister says several U.S. military aircraft crashed in the country. Thankfully, with all crew members
Sorry, guys, I'm just looking because I had a video I wanted to show, but now I'm not seeing it. Damn it.
And we've got the FBI is investigating a deadly shooting at a bar.
Sleeper cell warning. See, this is what I was saying too. And I had the my daughter has my phone. I was gonna say I had a video I wanted to show you guys and have you listen to about sleeper cells, but fuck.
In Austin, Texas, over the weekend, as a possible terrorist attack. 2 people were killed there. 14 others were wounded. Police shot and killed the gunman, who used both a pistol and a rifle in the Sunday morning attack. He was spotted wearing a sweatshirt reading, quote-unquote, property of Allah, and a shirt featuring the flag emblem of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Also, a Quran was also found in his vehicle. Joining me now is the governor of Texas, Greg.
Oh, yeah, he has it all. The sweater, the Quran. Oh, my God.
But, Governor, thank you so much for being here. You're worried about the threat of sleeper cells activated here at home. How worried should we be following Operation Epic Fury? Give us your insights this morning, sir.
So, Maria, it has to be taken seriously, and that's exactly why early that morning on Saturday morning, we made clear to the public that the state of Texas is taking seriously about the possibility of terrorist activity, lone wolf activity, exactly what happened here in Austin, Texas. And you oftentimes see when there's a war breaking out like this, where the United States may be going against a country like Iran, that you could have either sleeper cells or lone wolves acting. And that's exactly why we increased the number of Texas Department of Public Safety officers to be patrolling the streets and patrolling sensitive areas, and why I deployed the Texas National Guard to do the same thing so that we could be as prepared as possible for things like this happening. Obviously, you've seen, and Fox has reported, how this guy acted the way you pointed out, wearing an Allah T-shirt.
Okay, well, this is all cool, but what about the Epstein files, right?
A T-shirt representing sympathies with Iran as well as the Quran. And there are other details that will be coming out about the shooter and his connections to terrorism that will make clear this was a lone wolf activity where this shooter intended to wreak havoc here in Texas, here in the United States, because of his ties and sympathies with Iran. It calls into question a lot of people like that who are here in the United States, who came from other countries, that the United States has to do a far better job in trying to vet and evaluate and ongoingly evaluate those who've come to our country who could pose a danger.
Everybody just needs to stay strapped at this point. I mean, how many people did we let in the past 5 years and more? I mean, everybody's just got to stay strapped. Make sure you guys do it legally, but stay protected, guys.
Well, that's right. And for years, you single-handedly protected the border. You and, of course, once President Trump got back in office, he was the game changer. But throughout the Biden years, it was you protecting the border from illegals coming in, the Biden administration creating worries because we don't know who came in. From February 2021 to November 2024, more than 1,700 Iranian nationals crossed the southern border, Governor, and that could be a naive low number. What is your assessment of, who's coming in and who came in during those years and what kind of threat they represent today?
Well, listen, the Trump administration and others have done a very good job of doing their best to try to document all of these people who have been crossing the border. There were known terrorists that Joe Biden led into the country. There were known murderers, rapists, and other criminals.
The files are online. Puppet, stay on topic. I went through the files online, dude. You don't understand what I'm saying, but that's fine. That's why I usually don't read chatters. You guys are just idiots. Not all you, just a few of people that come in here are just like...
Joe Biden allowed into the country. And when they got into the country, they were allowed to disperse across the entire United States of America. One struggle that the President Trump is dealing with is trying to locate all of the...
The United States is the best country in the damn world, and you know what? I'm a patriot. America first. I'm a patriot. Let's go, man. America's the best country in the world. What are you talking about?
These very dangerous people that were admitted by Joe Biden, and make sure we get to them before they harm anybody else. And that's exactly what's taking place right now. In Texas, we have 4 Joint Terrorism Task Force. We have 8 fusion centers, all of which are working around the clock as we speak right now, looking for any type of dangerous terrorist activity that could be arising in the state of Texas. We need to see the same thing taking place across the United States of America, because we know that dangerous people like that exists in our states, and we need a collaborative, broad sweeping effort by local, state, and federal officials to root out all these terrorists that were allowed in by Joe Biden and make sure we get them, arrest them, and deport them.
Yeah, and let me just point out that when President Trump, in his first term, told us the facts that they were letting in murderers, rapists, etc., he was mocked by the left, mocked by the establishment. Everything he said was correct. And now we are all, unfortunately, feeling the brunt of it. Just last week, you announced an order increasing Department of Public Safety agents along the southern border, as you just said, over this threat of new cartel violence in Mexico. Growing threats of retaliation from Iran as well. Tell us about the Mexico situation, because we know that the Mexican cartels have been running Mexico, or we believe so. Your thoughts?
So listen, what's going on the Texas border as well as the entire U.S. border with Mexico would be a fluid situation. The deal is we know what happened with this cartel in their reaction and what they tried to do. And when activities like that occur, we know there could be spillover violence here into the state of Texas. One of the locations where there was cartel violence was Reynosa, which is just right across the river from Brownsville, Texas. And there are other locations right along the border where spillover activity could occur either in person or by drone. And so we are escalating our efforts to make sure that we're doing everything we can to secure the border. But, Maria, here's the deal. You should expect that this cartel...
Yeah, I only seen one video and then a couple pictures, but yeah, I seen it. I keep going on and off there.
Violence that occurred a week ago is not going to be the last of it. President Trump has been very clear. He wants to see the elimination of the heads of all these different cartels. And it seemed like Mexico is working collaboratively to remove those cartel heads. Whenever things like that happen, you see the mayhem that we saw this last week. And so Texas is going to remain vigilant, securing every corner of our border from any type of cartel spillover activity.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the Democrats are looking at this as an opportunity to pounce, hoping that something in this middle of chaos or the fog of war gets people confused about what's going on and votes Democrat. Thousands of Texans will be heading to the polls tomorrow for the crucial Senate primary election. Lots of spending there. Give us your sense of the 2026 vote and whether or not everything you are saying this morning is resonating with the reality on the ground and resonating with those people who will be voting.
So, Maria, whenever there are midterm elections, there's always a backlash against the party in power. Right now, that's the Republicans. And we saw that same thing occur during President Trump's last midterm election when Beto O'Rourke almost beat Ted Cruz. And there's what you call an enthusiasm gap. However, based upon what you just said, your question, we will be using that as Republicans and going into the campaigns of contrasting Republicans versus Democrats, because it's the Democrats who have allowed in terrorists and other dangerous people into our country in their open border policies. And when we show the contrast between the law and order, rule of law positions that Republicans have versus the open border policies and the defund the police movement and things like that, we will be able to make clear to voters that it's going to be Republicans that most Texans align with as opposed to Democrats. So kind of regardless of what happens tomorrow in Texas elections, when we make the turn and go to November, it'll be a dramatic contrast between Republicans and Democrats. The Democrats in Texas are more closely aligned with Mamdani in New York than they are with the core values of Texas.
And you've seen that play out in a real way because people are leaving cities like New York because of Mamdani, because of all the high taxes, leaving states like California, wealth tax, et cetera, poor governance there, and coming to Texas. That has strengthened your economy in Texas as well.
So, and you see behind me all of the governor's cups that Texas has won because we rank #1 for economic development. I'm getting another one today that I've gotten every single year that I've been governor. And it's because Texas, for one, has the best economic development program of any state in the United States of America. But also, our economy is growing fast. We're ranked #1 for jobs, #1 for capital investment, #1 for headquarter moves to our state. And so the Texas model simply works better. And that's why we are creating Y'all Street, where the exchanges in New York are coming to the state of Texas, because capitalism exists in a robust state like Texas and cannot exist in a communistic regime like Mamdani in New York.
Well, that's very clever, Governor. Y'all Street versus Wall Street, and we appreciate you.
Listen to what former FBI Assistant Director Chris Schwecker had to say about sleeper cells.
Hezbollah and Hamas, both of whom are sponsored by the country of Iran, have had a presence here in the United States going way back to the 1980s. I mean, they are state-sponsored terrorist organizations. And after 4 years of open borders, even more came across. You also have sympathizers who are numerous, and we saw many of them outed, after all the protests on our campuses and all the events across the country. And the FBI has been on top of that, but they've been on high alert for several weeks.
Now, the FBI is investigating a mass shooting at a bar near the UT campus in Austin. It is possibly an act of terrorism. Fox can confirm via multiple federal sources that the Texas shooting suspect was indeed wearing an undershirt that has the current Iranian flag on it. Nathan Sales joins me now. Nathan, are you concerned about sleeper cells? And really, do we know who they are and where they are?
Morning, Stu. Yes, I am concerned, and we should all be concerned because Iran is the world's worst state sponsor of terrorism for a reason. And the reason is because they have been seeding terror supporters all around the world for many years, for many decades. Here in the United States, since the late 1990s, the FBI has arrested at least 128 Hezbollah operatives. Now, this is a Lebanese terrorist group, but it's not just limited to Lebanon. The tentacles spread all over the world. So 128 here in our country over the past quarter century. How many of them are here today? We don't know, but we have to assume that the number is not zero. And so we need DHS, we need FBI, and we need state.
Yeah, especially everybody in these big cities, guys. Please be safe. Thank you to Camille for the subscription. God bless you and your family. Welcome to the See Me Now family. Everybody in these big states, make sure you guys be careful and stay safe because it is scary to think about how many sleeper cells could be in America and activate over this situation. So everybody just stay aware when you go out to places. If you go in buildings, make sure you identify exits. You know, don't just be, ignorant and be on your phone and all that other stuff. Identify exits. And, make sure you know when you're going to a place it's safe and you got an escape plan if something does happen. And it's crazy we have to even say that, but. Sheila Nicole, thank you for your subscription. God bless you and your family.
Hello.
Right, Skippy? Yeah, we are lucky we're up here, but anything can happen at any time, so. Hey, shh. Anything can happen at any time.
Hello.
Hello.
Local law enforcement to be absolutely at the top of their game, tracking down any leads to prevent any acts of terrorism here on our soil.
Nathan, the big picture for a moment. The war on Iran, decapitating their leadership, degrading their military capabilities. Is this a defeat for terror worldwide?
It absolutely is. Yeah. If you take Iran and its support for terrorism off the chessboard, the rest of those terror organizations around the world are going to suffer a loss of resources, loss of weapons, loss of support. Iran really is the hub around which global terrorism rotates. Hamas gets money and weapons and training from the Iranian regime. Hezbollah, other terrorist groups, including Al-Qaeda, whose leadership has been harbored in Iran since shortly after 9/11. So if you take Iran off the playing field, those other terrorist groups are going to find it a lot harder to carry out their bloody work.
At this moment, it looks like a lot of that terror capability has been removed. I'm looking on the bright side, the positive side of things here. Nathan Sells, thanks for joining us this morning. It's a big day, and we appreciate you being here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let's see what else is going on here. I'm probably going to get off here soon, guys. Breaking Qatar.
The IDF is going after Beirut's southern suburb.
Qatar shoots down Iranian jets, halts LNG production. Watch out, Zeus. Yeah, tell him that. Watch out, Zeus.
At this point, after Iran-backed Hezbollah launched strikes on Israel from Lebanon. Iran, and its proxies are expanding the fight to other parts of the Middle East as well as regions that have oil infrastructure. U.S. CENTCOM says Kuwait's air defense system accidentally shot down 3 U.S. F-15 fighter jets after Iran attacked that country. Now, remember, I've been reporting Iran is hitting its...
Oh, my goodness. It just seems like a mess over there. It's just crazy.
Neighbors, and it's not clear why, because some of them are more than neutral. Some of these countries are friendly with Iran, and they have taken out hotels coming close to the Burj, which is one of the world's tallest buildings. They're building a taller one in Dubai now. Taking out a hotel, or at least trying to. So those type of civilian targets. All 6 crew members in our F-15s in Kuwait are safe, injured but in stable condition. Fire and smoke billowed from the vicinity of the U.S. Embassy compound in Kuwait after an Iran missile struck there. The U.S. Embassy is urging Americans to stay away and shelter in place in the aftermath. So far, there are no reports of injuries or deaths, thankfully. Tanker traffic in the vital Strait of Hormuz is down significantly, with satellite navigation systems disrupted, and there are reports of attacks on several ships in the area. A bomb-carrying drone boat reportedly hit an oil tanker in the Gulf of Oman, killing 1 mariner. All of this sending oil prices surging around the globe. And this as we get a closer look.
Told you guys. Told you.
Look at the force behind Operation Epic Fury. CENTCOM is confirming more than 1,000 targets have been hit so far, including Iran command centers and missile sites. U.S. assets deployed include B-2s, drones, fighter jets.
Yeah, but Shadow, I mean, I would love to, like, I'm not saying I don't believe you, but I mean, you can just get pictures off anywhere online. You know? Send me a video saying this is Shadow. Send a video saying this is Shadow and this is where I'm at, and I'll believe it. But if it is real, I do pray for you, brother. God bless you.
And missile systems and more. And on the Israeli side, their operation has dismantled 600 terrorist sites using 2,500 munitions and destroying 150 surface-to-surface missiles. More than 100,000 reservists have been mobilized in the effort. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yinks is with me from Israel. In Tel Aviv, Trey.
Harris, I mean, I'll interview you, Shadow. If you truly are telling the truth, I'll interview you. We'll hop on Discord and do an interview. And I'll get your side of what you're seeing down there, or over there.
I want to start with some breaking news. We've learned from Qatar's defense ministry the country shot down 2 Iranian jets that entered their airspace. We know that they've been receiving attacks from the Iranians, and they have been taking action not only now to shoot down jets, but also incoming ballistic missiles. The Qataris have also ceased production of liquefied natural gas in their country for the first time in 30 years over these attacks. This comes as the war is expanding. Overnight, the Iran-backed Lebanese militant group Hezbollah launching rockets into northern Israel. The Israelis responded with airstrikes against Beirut. You can see this smoke billowing from the Dahya neighborhood of southern Beirut. As this is taking place, we know the Lebanese prime minister is calling on Hezbollah to stop the fire. But so far, the Israelis say they have to keep the pressure up on this Iran-backed organization to discourage other proxies from joining into the fight. Throughout the day across Israel, Iranian ballistic missiles have soared through the skies of this country. We watched as some of them were intercepted in the skies above. One missile, though, slamming into the southern city of Beersheba, where officials say at least 10 Israelis were wounded and taken to local hospitals. Israel's prime minister speaking today from one missile impact site, warning the Iranians if they continue this fire, they'll get hit hard in the capital of Tehran. And Harris, again, we do expect the coordination to continue at the highest level between the Israelis and the Americans. But with these Gulf countries taking direct fire from the Iranian regime, this conflict is expanding. Harris?
Yeah, I wrote down what you said from the Qataris and the natural gas. Talk to me a little bit.
Put in a chat how much longer. Oh, we're at 10.7K now. Thank you guys for all subscribing. Much love to you guys. Tell me we're at put in a chat how much longer do you think strikes are going to continue? I give it another couple weeks. We'll see, but
more about that if you can. I mean, Iran.
Yeah, because I'd love to interview you, Shadow, or get you your perspective on all this stuff to put on the channel. So if you're willing to do that, that'd be awesome.
Obviously has been getting some critical infrastructure type items from these countries that now it's firing upon almost indiscriminately. It makes no sense.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, Robin. God bless you. Sticking up for a single father. I appreciate you. Oh my God, we jumped up in likes too. Much love to everybody, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I don't know if that's a glitch or not. It goes from 134 to 164, but yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. God bless you guys. I appreciate y'all for running up the likes. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button as well. Join the See Me Now family. If you want to support the channel, become a member. Tier 1, See Me Now Soldier. Tier 2, See Me Now General. I do have a super chat goal up on the top of 10 super chats, any color. So that means $1 and above. You can get your name written down on the donor wall. Any large super chats, go to the link that's in my bio or in the pinned comment to my Ko-Fi. YouTube does take a brutal 30%, so any large donations, donators usually love to go to the Ko-Fi.
And it is a significant threat not just to these Gulf countries, but also to U.S. investments in the Gulf. We have seen the Iranians systematically trying to target energy infrastructure, not just in Qatar, but also in Saudi Arabia and in Kuwait. Gulf countries like the United Arab Emirates also taking direct fire. You saw those images of a drone slamming into the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building.
Yeah.
And so this is a conflict that is expanding, but it also has a lot of different aspects to it. The Iranians, while they're firing these medium-range ballistic missiles at Israel, they're using some of the shorter-range missiles to target Gulf countries, along with cruise missiles and drones. But the fact that they sent these Su-24 tactical bombers to try and hit Qatar is a significant escalation. And again, we can report at this hour that according to Qatar's defense ministry, both of these jets were shot down.
Wow. And when you talk about, those areas in Dubai, like the Burj, I mean, it's actually in a shopping mall. I've been there. I mean, that's an epicenter of where people go. And you do have Americans, but we've been warned not to go to those places right now. I don't know what it's like on the ground for the citizens in the UAE right now, having that come from a place.
Much love, Paulo. Much love. Much love to all you guys, man. Thank you for the subscription, Free Fire. Much love.
That you wouldn't anticipate it would be coming from in Iran. Wonder if it's not just a desperate attempt. Talk to me about the people on the ground in Israel. You know, this could be a while. We're hearing maybe 6 weeks, maybe more. We're about to hear from the President of the United States. He may give us an indication of where they are in this conflict right now. Any talk of sending more U.S. troops, that sort of thing coming from him, that may give us an idea. But what are the people you're talking with saying?
Yeah, Harris, most of the Israeli population has spent the last 60 hours in bomb shelters, but they are very supportive of this operation against the Islamic Republic of Iran. They understand the threats firsthand. Missiles have soared through the skies of this country, not just over the past 2 days, but for years. Iranian proxies have threatened the Israeli people and also U.S. forces across the region. They watched as these negotiations were unfolding, first in Oman and then in Switzerland, and they saw President Trump offer an olive branch to the Iranians. He gave them a diplomatic off-ramp, and they didn't take it. And that's what the Israeli people continue to say when you talk to them. They say, look, there's no other option to create stability in our part of the world. They understand the president was able to get a ceasefire deal together between Israel and Hamas inside Gaza, something many regional countries didn't believe was possible. He took the momentum after that to create the Board of Peace in an effort to create more stability across the region. But both Israeli officials and American officials agree it was Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, and the regime in Tehran that was the last major roadblock to President Trump's vision of peace across the region. And so the Israelis are quite supportive of this operation, understanding that when the Americans are striking these missile launching positions that you see, they are saving Israeli lives. And that's what it comes down to here. They understand the price of war, but it's a price they're willing to pay.
And in the long run, Iranian lives too, because we're seeing so much celebration in the streets here and around the world as well from Iranian citizens who either fled, still have family there, so on and so forth. Trey Ying's always good to have a one-on-one talk with you. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris
So how
Faulkner
long do
and
you guys
Kaylee
think that
McEnany.
these strikes are going to continue? Oops. Let's see. I'll be on for another about 20, 30 minutes, and I'm going to get off. Tomorrow will be regular time from 9 to 1 or 2. Oh, yeah. This is the one I wanted to play.
And a Fox News alert, the conflict in Iran intensifies.
Because I wonder how these neighboring countries that host American bases feel. You know? I wonder how they feel, or if they regret hosting them, you know? Because of what the fuckery we do, you know?
As fighting expands across the Middle East, the U.S. and Israel striking targets in a massive display of firepower with one key goal: disrupt, degrade, deny, and destroy Iran's offensive military capabilities. That's quite a to-do list.
That is a lot of D's.
It is. Welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Dana Perino.
Morning to you, Dana. Short weekend for everybody. It's day 3. I'm Bill Hemmer, back at it. We'll see how long this goes together. We expect to hear from the president about an hour from now, following the Pentagon's update on Operation Epic Fury, about 1 hour.
I'm thinking a couple weeks. Yeah, I hope it doesn't last a long time, but it's like, you know, I wonder how long these strikes are going to last. How long is Iran going to continue trying to strike Israel and all these other places? And how long is the United States and Israel going to, you know, strike Iran? It's interesting.
Ago. U.S. forces launching overwhelming surgical attacks on Iran's military, taking the fight to Iran with a major focus on missiles and nuclear targets. Here you will see U.S. strikes hitting mobile launchers as Iran continues to fire ballistic missiles, indiscriminately targeting locations throughout the region, the Gulf states and Israel.
Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane describes the ongoing operation as he reveals more U.S. troops are being deployed to the Middle East.
This was a massive, overwhelming attack across all domains of warfare, striking more than 1,000 targets in the first 24 hours. We are now roughly 57 hours into the operation. In the initial phase, CENTCOM's focus was systematic targeting of Iranians' command and control infrastructure, naval forces, ballistic missile sites, and intelligence infrastructure designed to daze and confuse them. The combined impact of these strikes, swift, precise, and overwhelming, has resulted in the establishment of local air superiority. This air superiority will not only...
No, and if you guys remember, they literally just said that Trump was going to go talk to Xi Jinping or whatever here soon. So I forgot when they said that he was going. We'll have to see again. But yeah, I mean, I wonder how that's going to go because, as you guys know, they have the BRICS alliance over there. So
enhance the protection of our forces, but also allow them to continue the work over Iran. Operations will remain active across the theater and across the globe. The U.S. forces are postured not only to maintain pressure, but to respond and adapt as required. Operation Epic Fury stands as a reminder of what the United States military uniquely delivers: the ability to project power on a global scale with speed, surprise, precision, and overwhelming force.
We have Fox team coverage. Anchor Brett Baer joining us in a moment. Lucas Tomlinson is live in Istanbul, but let's start with Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin. Hi, Jennifer. Good morning.
Hi, Dana. Well, I was in the Pentagon briefing this morning, but we were not called on for a question. We had assigned seats, and Fox News was put in the back row.
let's see if there's anything else because we kind of already seen this stuff. Breaking, Trump provides an Iran war update. Oh, I didn't see this yet.
So before we begin this important ceremony, and there's no ceremony that can be much more important than this, let me provide a brief update on Operation Epic Fury. Today, the United States military continues to carry out large-scale combat operations in Iran to eliminate the grave threats posed to America by this terrible terrorist regime. Following our obliteration of Iran's nuclear program in Operation Midnight Hammer a short while ago, we warned Iran not to make any attempt to rebuild at a different location because they were unable to use the ones that we so powerfully blew up. But they ignored those warnings and refused to cease their pursuit of nuclear weapons. In addition, the regime's conventional ballistic missile program was growing rapidly and dramatically, and this posed a very clear, colossal threat to America and our forces stationed overseas. The regime already had missiles capable of hitting Europe and our bases, both local and overseas, and would soon have had missiles capable of reaching our beautiful America. The purpose of this fast-growing missile program was to shield their nuclear weapon development and make it extraordinarily difficult for anyone to stop them from making these highly forbidden by us nuclear weapons. We were the ones that were complaining. We were the ones that wanted it stopped. But everybody was behind us. They just didn't have the courage to say so. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat to the Middle East, but also to the American people. Our country itself would be under threat, and it was very nearly under threat. I was very proud to have knocked out the Iran nuclear deal by President Barack Hussein Obama. That was a horrible, horrible, dangerous document. They would have had nuclear weapons 3 years ago, and they would have used them. But I'll not let that happen. For almost 47 years, this regime has been attacking the United States and killing Americans. Every time you see someone with missing arms and legs or a face that's been absolutely shattered violently, it was almost certainly caused by an Iran roadside bomb. They were put there by General Soleimani, who was the father of the roadside bomb. Very proudly, he thought, but I terminated him in my first term. This was our last best chance to strike what we're doing right now and eliminate the intolerable threats posed by this sick and sinister regime. And they are indeed sick and sinister. Our objectives are clear. First, we're destroying Iran's missile capabilities, and you see that happening on an hourly basis, and their capacity to produce brand new ones, and pretty good ones they make. Second, we're annihilating their navy. We've knocked out already 10 ships. They're at the bottom of the sea. Third, we're ensuring that the world's #1 sponsor of terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon. Never going to have a nuclear weapon. I said that from the beginning. They're never going to have a nuclear weapon. They were on the road to getting one legitimately through a deal that was signed foolishly by our country. And finally, we're ensuring that the Iranian regime cannot continue to arm, fund, and direct terrorist armies outside of their borders. And we thought we had a deal, but then they backed out. And And they came back, and we thought we had a deal, and they backed out. I said, you can't deal with these people. You got to do it the right way. Today, we grieve for the 4 heroic.
I appreciate you, Tony. Yeah, they're my everything. You make gum look good. I appreciate that. Yeah. I don't know. It's just ever since, like, we always get into these gum kicks to where, like, we don't chew gum for a while. Then we get gum and we always want it now. It's kind of like sunflower seeds where you chew them for so long, your tongue hurts after, and then you don't eat them for a while, and then you want to eat them. It's like this weird, I don't know. But yeah, I have to do something because I have ADHD, I feel like. What are you doing? You are a goober.
No.
Yes. I'm probably gonna get off after this video, you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow, regular time, but it's very interesting to see what's going on today, and you know, especially with the Erica Kirk situation with the whole trademark. I'm definitely gonna have to research that and look more into the whole fact that Charlie Kirk's parents are trying to basically take his name and likeness from Erica so she can't steal everything from the family.
American service members who have been killed in action, and send our love and support to their families. In their memory, we continue this mission with ferocious, unyielding resolve to crush the threat this terrorist regime poses to the American people, and a threat indeed it is. We have the strongest and most powerful, by far, military in the world, and we will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections, but whatever the time is, it's okay. Whatever it takes, we will always, and we have right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that. We'll do it. Whatever somebody said today, they said, oh, well, if the president wants to do it really quickly, after that he'll get bored. I don't get bored. There's nothing boring about this. Do you agree with that, Pete? I don't think there's anything, Mr. General. I think there's nothing boring about it. Somebody actually said from the media, I think he'll get bored after about a week or two. No, we don't get bored. I never get bored. If I got bored, I wouldn't be standing here right now. I guarantee you that, to go through what I had to go through. We also projected 4 weeks to terminate the military leadership, and as you know, that was done in about an hour, so we're ahead of schedule there by a lot. But please join me in thanking every American service member who bravely is standing in harm's way. They really are incredible, and I just want to thank you. We have a lot of them right here. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So how did the U.S. do it? How did we strike at the very top of a closed regime deep inside Iran? Well, to see how
We're going to watch probably one more video. I'm going to get out of here. I just seen this, too. This is interesting. This was 4 days ago. I didn't see it, though, yesterday. Usually I see stuff when I get on stream. North Korea breaks
as the North
silence.
wrapped up its first major party congress.
Ready for war. Kim Jong-un makes an offer to the U.S., renews hostilities South Korea. So
in 5 years with a military parade. Kim has also drawn attention for insisting, and this is all according to state media, that North Korea will further strengthen state nuclear forces and thoroughly exercise nuclear armed state status. So straight off the bat, we can confirm he's showing no sign of openness to denuclearization dialogue. But he did open the door to relations with the US, saying such ties are entirely dependent on Washington's attitude. He said, "We have no reason not to get along with the United States if it respects our country's current status and drops its hostile policy toward North Korea." Kim insisted the North is prepared for either peaceful coexistence or eternal confrontation. In fact, he warned that terrible retaliatory attacks will be carried out against any force that commits hostile military acts against North Korea, insisting his country's armed forces are fully ready to cope with any circumstances. Kim strongly emphasized the development of the North's
dude, what is up with this guy's haircut? That's all I gotta ask.
naval capabilities, claiming that 5 years from now, its defense power will reach a level that enemies cannot cope with. Still, there is the possibility of dialogue with the US, which could happen pretty soon, given that American President Donald Trump is due in China this April. potentially allowing for a summit with Kim around the same time. But it doesn't look like we're getting inter-Korean talks anytime soon. Kim labelled as clumsy, deceitful the current South Korean government's attempts at reconciliation, adding that the North has no business dealing with the South, which he reaffirmed was the most hostile entity. North Korea's relationship with the South, or what's left of it, is likely to be overseen by the leader's sister, Kim Yo-jong, who is now even more powerful after being promoted from vice director to a Workers' Party department head position during the party congress. There was no confirmation of a role for Kim Jong-un's daughter and widely anticipated heir, but there was plenty of language solidifying the leader's cult of personality. Having been formally re-elected, Kim was touted in state media as the greatest man in the world, with his leadership described as tantamount to a miracle.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that guy's haircut. Huh. Trump's emergency order.
They know one thing, and they all have the same thing in common. There's drug dust. They call it drug dust. They call it fentanyl dust all over the boat after those bombs go off. And you can take along. We know before. We know when they go out. We know we have much information about each boat that goes out. Deep, strong information.
I didn't know if this was recent or not. So
you have lawyers loose here this week. What is...
Look at all that gold in that office. It's crazy.
What?
I spent 2 months in Iran. Here's what I learned.
Iran is known as one of the most dangerous countries on the planet. But after visiting 3 times and spending almost 2 months in the country, I've come to realize that this is the world's most misunderstood nation.
We're just gonna have to react to this a different time because this is 2.5 hours long. I didn't even see that. NATO takes stance on Trump's Iran strikes. God, they have new updates coming out every 20 minutes.
The Fox News alert right now, the NATO missile defense system is on alert as the Iranian regime retaliates to Operation Epic Fury by firing missiles at military and civilian targets inside Israel and the Gulf states.
And they're uniting the Gulf states against Iran. Is that having the opposite effect? Joining us now, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. Mr. Secretary, great to see you. Your reaction since this campaign started 48 hours ago. In the beginning, no European support. Has anything changed?
Well, let me first of all say that my thoughts are with the service members, the U.S. service members, who made the ultimate sacrifice over the last couple of
like
days.
When you go to these places like Afghanistan, Iraq, or like whatever, the people are nice and they're giving. I mean, a lot of the times they won't even let you pay for food if you're a tourist, or like if you go to these street shops and stuff like that. They don't really, you know, they're very nice and giving. But yeah, it's the regimes that take over these countries that give them a bad name, and they're really terrible people, you know.
And let me also say that the commander-in-chief, the leader of the free world, President Donald J. Trump, I really commend what is happening here. Taking out Khamenei, taking out the nuclear capability in Iran, but also taking out the ballistic missile program in Iran. This is crucial. And what I see in Europe, I spoke with all the key European leaders over the weekend, is widespread support for what the president is doing, and also making sure that when it comes to logistics, access, defending key US interests in Europe and in the region, the Europeans are really stepping up.
But Mr. Secretary, can you explain the trepidation, though, with some of, the European countries, especially the UK? I mean, many of the inspirations of the radicals that are in their country that have done these acts came from Iran. They were inspired by the Iranians, the terrorist organization. So why the trepidation?
I totally understand the question. So
Thank you to Teletech for the subscription. God bless you. Welcome to the family.
The situation. I spoke yesterday with the senior NATO commanders. Europe is stepping up, is doing what is necessary to make sure this operation can go ahead and delivering all the enablement necessary. When you look, for example, at Friedrich Merz, the German Chancellor, he is now traveling to Washington for meetings tomorrow with President Trump. He has made the best type of comments over the last couple of days. I really think he is completely supportive of what is happening. You see the same from France when it comes to all the help they are giving, and also from the UK. The problem is the UK was legal. For these defensive operations, they needed the legal case to be solid. So last night they came around. I think that's important. We are early stages of this campaign, so very important that also the UK bases are now available.
Okay, so Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of Europe, of the UK, he said that he would now allow the United States to use British bases in the region. He says, we were not part of the initial strikes. We're not going to join the offensive action right now, but we will support the collective self-defense. What exactly does that mean? Which regions, which bases?
As far as I understand, there has been a clear ask from the US side to make sure the United States to make sure that the US can make use of.
God, could you imagine being around where these bombs are going off, guys? Look at all that smoke. That is just insane. I'm surprised some of these buildings just don't collapse, like these tall buildings. That's a lot of smoke, yeah. Look at all that smoke right there.
Make sure that the US can make use of bases and other enablement operations in Europe and all over the region, including in the Middle East, to make sure that they support what the US is doing, at least enabling it. That means access, it means logistics, it means defending key US interests. And here the Brits needed to get a legal case done. They did so last night. Of course, everybody would have loved this to happen a couple of days earlier, but hey, the good news is here that there is no a shiver of light between us. The Europeans, Canada, Mark Carney, the United States, the American president, all for one for all, because everybody supports here in Europe the fact that Khamenei is gone, that the nuclear capability is gone, that the ballistic missile program has been now degraded, which was a big threat for Europe, for Israel, for the whole region. We see countries like the UAE, Bahrain, Oman and other Gulf nations now under attack, indiscriminate attacks against innocent civilians living in Dubai and in other proud capitals in the region. So we are dealing with a regime in Iran which is terrorist by nature, which is exporting chaos to the region, and that's why everybody supports what is being done now here under President Trump's leadership. It's crucial. It's taking out this capability of this regime in Tehran to create this chaos in the region and being a threat to Europe.
All right, Mr. Secretary, we're out of time, but you got to do some work on Turkey and Spain. They seem to be lagging behind. They don't seem to get it, but I know you can convince them who the right side is. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
U.S. forces turning Iran's own drone playbook against them.
All right, sorry, 1 second.
Deploying Iranian-inspired kamikaze drones for the first time in combat. It was all part of rare daytime strikes.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing, is that we used kamikaze drones for the first time on Iran. And I knew, because it's obvious that the Russia-Ukraine war was a proxy war in order for us to test out new weapons that's being made from Palantir and all these other places. And seeing them now take this type of technology to the Iran situation is it's crazy how far war has come in just the past 15-20 years. Like, it's just wild.
Taking down senior leaders in Tehran, including its supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei. Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired four-star General Jack Keane, joins us now. General, thank you for joining us. We've seen the videos from CENTCOM of this, the first 24 hours. It was a bold target package and what appears to be flawless execution. Walk me through what we've witnessed and where we're headed.
Like, you guys remember when I brought up on stream, or I showed on stream those drones that are made and they're self-flying and everything, and they map out where they're going so they can remember. But they're in the forest, and it was like there was a lot of brush, a lot of trees, and they just fly right through the obstacles perfectly. And that would just be so scary to be in a situation where one of those is coming for you, you know, or 10 of them or 20 of them, you know.
The family of Robert Levenson, there's his picture. Remember his picture from years ago? Says that justice is finally being served for the ex-FBI agent and longest held U.S. hostage in history, who vanished in Iran back in 2007 and is believed to have died in its custody as one of the Iranian officials wanted for questioning is reportedly killed in the strikes. Robert's son, Dan Levenson, joins us now. Dan, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Your mom and dad raised you in South Florida. There's 7 siblings, 7 children that your dad and your mom had together. Your dad is a retired FBI special agent, and he was working in Iran as a contractor for the CIA. What happened to him?
Well, he was meeting with a gentleman on the island of Kish. According to the other gentleman, they were brought in for questioning. They released the other man the next morning and said my dad also went home, but that was a lie. They've been lying to us ever since about what happened to him. But the Iranians know exactly where he was and where they were keeping him.
And the man who took your dad, his picture is up on all the news agencies, news stations, because he was one of the 40, plus the Ayatollah, that were killed. The regime, it looks like the top leaders are gone at this point. What was your reaction, your mom's reaction, your siblings' reaction?
It was an emotional weekend for all of us. There was no person who was more responsible for my father's fate than Ayatollah Khamenei. At any time, he could have waved his hand and had my dad released. He chose not to. We begged and pleaded. We sent so many letters. I went over there twice asking for a meeting, and his people rebuffed us, ignored us. And it was very emotional to see what happened to him, and both him and Mohammed Basseri, who was the intelligence operative.
When we all found out the news, it was like the middle of the night, Saturday morning, and we were all scrambling because we were all coming to work. I'm sure you heard it that time, too. What were those phone calls like between you and your mom and your siblings?
Well, we were glued to our screens just like everybody else, following everything that was going on. We were always watching the events unfolding in Iran.
Dan, what's your message to Donald Trump, the administration?
Well, we're very appreciative that they're finally taking a hold.
Yeah, because the missiles can't fight well unless it's heat-seeking. But yeah, those drones are crazy.
Iran accountable.
They even make ones that are like this big. Remember that video? Anyone ever watched the video where that guy was in front of he was on the stage, and there was a big crowd in front of him. He threw the drone out there, and he had a mannequin on stage, and the drone went to the mannequin and just basically blows its head up. It's pretty crazy, the technology we have.
We understand after 19 years of dealing with the Iranian regime that they only respond to strength.
He was CIA, so that's probably even worse because we all know what the CIA does in foreign countries.
They only respond to pressure. We know that President Trump and his administration understand this. We're hoping that they're going to continue to hold them accountable. And any talks with, nobody knows what's going to happen next in Iran, but whether there's a talks with a future regime official, maybe an American-friendly friendly government, that my dad's case is a priority. Of course, it's one of many things that we're going to have to deal with Iran, but they need to be held accountable. They need to come forward with the truth. We would like my dad's remains returned to us. They need to be held accountable.
Yeah, I doubt that they have his remains anymore, brother.
Yeah, I know in 2007 your dad was taken. You received a video of your dad in 2010 and then a picture in 2011, and that's the last time you've heard anything?
Yes, that's correct. We were just looking for answers. We still don't know exactly what happened to him, and we're looking for answers.
And there's a reward if anyone has information to bring your father back home.
There's still a $25 million reward.
$25 million? I was not expecting that number to come out of his mouth.
You know, no matter what happens in these coming days, there are going to be defections. There are going to be people in the Iranian government who know exactly what happened. So there is this opportunity for them to come forward, talk to the American government, and provide the answers that our family is seeking.
Yeah, he was working for the government, and the money was put up by the FBI and the State Department. Well, Dan, I hope we find some answers. Your dad's picture has been all over America for 20 years now, almost 20 years. So thank you. God bless your family.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest.
Your father chose a job that, you're supposed to be a ghost, and you potentially don't come back from certain missions. When you go to these other places, your main mission, especially in the CIA, is to get people to turn against their country and commit treason. And, you getting caught, I mean, we all know what happens when that happens, Yeah, I know this guy's going to be going on to be the leader.
Welcome back with continuing live
The
coverage
same
of
prince that we listened to earlier on 60 Minutes, they're about to talk about, and this is going to be, I guarantee they're going to put this
breaking
guy's leader.
news of the U.S. and Israeli military strikes on Iran. Iranians took to the streets of Tehran and other cities across Iran in celebration, following news that longtime dictator Ali Khamenei was killed. Joining me now is His Royal Highness, the exiled former Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, live from an undisclosed location this morning. Your Highness, thank you very much for being here. Wow, we are at this day. We have been together many times in the last several years talking about this. Your reaction to Khamenei dead and this U.S.-Israeli strike against Iran?
Maria, there's no question that this is the game changer we've been waiting for all this time. The jubilation of Iranians at home and abroad shows how much people were hoping for this moment. And I join millions of Iranians thanking President Trump for taking this into action and delivering on his promise. We are so elated of the fact that now we have the beginning of the very end of the regime, because at least we are going to see more and more decimation of this regime, which can only equal the playing field so that the Iranian people could come back to the streets and claim the country back from this hated regime.
And that is exactly what President Trump has been telling and messaging to the Iranian people: take back your country. How can they do that, sir?
Well, Maria, this is time now for a very strong, stable transition. I am leading this transition. I have the support of millions of Iranian people. I have the people inside the country that are joining and bolstering the coalition of forces that will be at play in filling the boxes. The military will side with us, and we have a plan of action and a transition plan. As a matter of fact, I'm glad to hear what Senator Fetterman was saying. It's music to my ears. I always thought that it should be a bipartisan issue when it comes to America's national security interests as well as business opportunities in the future, because we as Iranians look at America as our best partner in reconstructing ourselves.
Do you though? Because I just, I the whole thing with Israel. Yes, we're Trump's compromised. We bend the knee, whatever. We do this on behalf of Israel. We all know that the Great Awakening is happening, but we also need to look at the fact that the Muslim nation has their own 100-year plan, which I've also read on stream. But it's like I doubt that we're your number one ally, bro. Oh God.
The president says MAGA. We say MAGA, make Iran great again. And in that sense, I think that a different Iran that now will be at peace with the region, work with our neighbors, will bring an element of stability, will be good for American national security, but most importantly, an opportunity to be successful in terms of economic growth and what have you. Just by a change that we hope to bring to the table, that will be probably over $1 trillion worth of impact and revenue to the American economy just by Iran's market being open to America, and how much we stand to benefit from billions of dollars willing to be invested into Iran. All that was needed was for this regime to no longer be there. And I think that is something that should be important to America and Iran both.
So where does this transition leave the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, where leadership there is still vowing revenge? How does this transitional government look when you have Persians, Shia, Sunni, secular government? What do you envision?
Well, Maria, obviously, I think this campaign is this time something not just to set back the Iranian nuclear program or anything like that. This is like full decapitation of the regime, and ultimately what will expedite its total collapse. The Iranian people have suffered too much to settle for anything less than that. But as soon as the transition plan is put into gear, we want to make sure that we address the issue immediately to make sure that we have the ability to have a stable process to obviously lead to ultimately a democratic outcome so the Iranian people get to choose their future government and system. What we need to do now is to make sure that we bring all the elements that can help that process into place. I was talking earlier today with Senator Lindsey Graham, who's a good friend of Iran. In fact, people now call him lovingly Uncle Lindsey for his position. And he talked to me earlier saying that he would try to organize a bipartisan group at Senate level for us to present that plan. Both the administration and Congress will understand better what we have in mind and we'll get more into the details. You and I had talked about the IPP project, Iran Prosperity Project before, and the first 100-day, critically important of how we do that for the initial transition. I've been working with a number of Iranians from across the spectrum that are united on this purpose. We have the most diverse coalition of people dedicated to that process, representing different parts of the country, including religious minorities, ethnic groups that are all aligned in this national project that we have. So I feel extremely confident that we get this into place and make sure that we can fill the vacuum and that unlike other scenarios that did not pan out so well, example, post-Saddam Hussein de-Baathification, the Iranian scenario is very different than that. It's different than Venezuela. We do have an absolutely ironclad plan in mind. Of course, what's critical is the more this regime is totally weakened and it collapses, whatever remains behind is not part of the solution and they are incorporated into our transition, in the civilian bureaucracy as well as the military and security forces.
Okay, we will be watching all of that. And how long would you expect your transitional leadership to be?
Yeah. Well, Maria, I think that to be realistic, from the time that we start until the day we can have the final referendum, I anticipate a period that should not be longer than a couple of years at the most. But what's critical is the first 100 days to immediately stabilize the country, the Iranian economic situation, that the apparatus of governments remain as intact as possible so the functioning of the country continues to be in place while we bring all the components that makes us bring the country to a position where we come out of it at the very end with the choice that people will have to make and will be proposed various plans in the Constitutional Assembly, which is the entity that will, of course, debate all these issues.
Well, that would be an incredible day to see a free election in Iran once again. Reza Pahlavi, thank you, sir.
Yeah, hopefully he can stay safe, man. At the end of the day, we all know that they're not gonna, you know, it's gonna be a problem with him taking over if he was already exiled for the longest time. And there's certain, you know, parts of Iran that are, you know, celebrating, and there's certain parts of Iran that are chanting death to America. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully he stays safe and hopefully everything goes good and the transition's good. But right now everything's still going underway. Attacks are happening and hopefully, you know, everything just gets better. But I'm going to get off, guys. I appreciate everybody for coming in today and showing some love and support. Much love to everybody that came in and subbed up. Let's see how many subscribers we are at. We were at 1,700 something. We gained, let's see, we've gained 50 something subs. So we're running it up every day, man. Tomorrow, Rep America on YouTube. No, I have not. I'll have to check that out. Send me something in the Discord, Stacy. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for showing up and showing love. Tomorrow I'll be back on the regular time, as usual. Today I just let my kids stay home because I want to spend one more day with them before the school week starts. Because that's my favorite thing to do. So much love to everybody. God bless you guys. Again, join the okay, I'm coming. I'm going to go right now. Join the Discord to be a part of the community and show some love and support there. And go to my bio if you want to help me out and donate. Go to my Ko-Fi. And yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Much love to everybody. And stay safe. Watch out. Stay strapped up. And text me on Discord, Stacy. Much love, Skippy, Stacy, everybody else who's in here.